It's Friday, August 7th. Today, new drug enforcement blitz confirmed. How soon Winnipeg police expect to start cracking down on open drug use and what's different about the program this time. Also today, sharpening tornado warnings. The weather alert system is getting an overhaul. What could happen the next time severe storms roll through. Plus, Premier Canoe confirms funding for a massive project. How much money the province is putting towards the long-awaited Phase 3 of the North End Sewage Treatment Plant. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Daniel Halmerson, joined again by Tandy Vera on weather. It's Friday, the weekend's almost here, and that means the first week of Folklorama is almost wrapped up. You've been to a lot of pavilions this week, and obviously so has Ainsley McPhail. She continues her tour this morning at the German Pavilion, so we're going to learn about some of the stuff happening there. You were at the Portuguese one last night, and you said you were outside and that wind was howling around that pavilion.
Yes, it was. It was quite intense winds last night, which was to be expected. Environment and Climate Change Canada did say those winds would increase throughout the day. So it was a beautiful evening regardless. 10 degrees right now, mostly clear outside, winds gusting west at 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 92%. Now, looking at our satellite image today, not too much to show you. We did have that weather warning alert yesterday at about 1 p.m. Environment and Climate Change Canada issued out a severe thunderstorm warning. We didn't have that risk of thunderstorm later on in the evening time, but we did have those very intense winds, which was to be expected. Today, those winds will decrease, so it won't be as windy as it was yesterday, but still quite intense winds nonetheless. And looking at our satellite image, as I mentioned, not too much to show you for southern Manitoba. It's mostly going to be a sunny day, mostly clear outside. We're going to have a mix of sun and clouds, but mostly sunshine for the better part of the morning time. I do want to note for our friends up in northern Manitoba, they do have a 60% chance of precipitation today, as well as a risk of a thunderstorm. And that's shown by the icons that we're seeing here with the graphics. They have that risk, we don't. Some parts of central Manitoba might have some scattered precipitation throughout the day, and that is due to that low pressure system that's been stalling just up north of them. So for most of Manitoba, however, southern Manitoba to be specific, it's mostly going to be clear for us. We're going to have that mix of the sun and the clouds, but not too much in terms of actual precipitation. But looking into our 7-day forecast, today our high is going to be about 24 degrees. Seasonal average is 26, so we're just 2 degrees shy from that. But we just have sunshine on the way and very dry conditions to follow.
Today's the day police are beginning a 3-month-long targeted drug enforcement blitz in specific areas of the city, but say they're doing things differently this time around. CTV's Danton Unger explains.
Winnipeg police are set to begin another drug blitz.
Enforcement isn't a solution by itself, but it has a place.
It comes after the 10-day crackdown in June on open drug use in downtown and Point Douglas. Areas police say had seen increasing crime and calls for service, as well as the highest rates of naloxone administration in the city. On Thursday, police gave a first look at the results of that blitz. 106 arrests, including 93 for warrants or breaches, 5 for drug possession, and 3 for drug trafficking. 7 people were also taken into the 72-hour drug detention center. As a result, police say compared to the same time last year, property crime dropped 10.5% to 263 incidents. Violent crime was down 16.5% to 106 incidents, and emergency calls were down 6% to 155 calls.
In the week or two following, we did see kind of a sustainment of results in terms of crime.
However, the initial crackdown faced heavy criticism from some in the community who were concerned it was doing more harm than good for those struggling with addiction and homelessness. So Police Chief Gene Bauer says this time they'll be doing it differently.
That community organizations should have been part of our efforts, hence we're here today.
Uniformed officers will be working with community outreach teams, part of a new coalition of 11 urban Indigenous and homelessness advocacy groups.
Indigenous organizations lead the engagement through their trusted relationships, cultural knowledge, and lived experience, while police provide support and resources where appropriate.
It's an approach Winnipeg Mayor Scott Gillingham is happy to see.
We can be compassionate towards those who are struggling with addiction and yet still not tolerate open illegal drug use.
Danton Unger, CTV News, Winnipeg.
This new crackdown begins today in the downtown and Point Douglas areas as before. This time, though, police are also targeting Osborne Village. It runs until November when police will reassess the program. Trade is still dominating talks with our neighbors south of the border as the clock ticks down to the latest round of U.S. tariffs on Canadian goods.
Will we get all of that by the 19th of August? We'll see, but we want to have pathways in order to get that.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and Janice Charette, the country's chief trade negotiator, met with U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer in Washington yesterday. LeBlanc posted on social media after the meeting saying they had a constructive and detailed discussion, something that seems to be a clear contrast to what U.S. President Donald Trump said Wednesday night.
Canada's nasty. They are. They're nasty. People think Canada, they're nasty. People, I love the people, but they're nasty. Nasty leadership.
Carney responded saying no matter what adjective is used, Canada is standing up for Canadian workers. Trump's latest threats of 50% tariffs on a wide range of Canadian imports is set to come into effect on August 19th. Police have made 2 arrests in connection to that shooting at the U.S. consulate in Toronto last month, and they say they were part of a so-called criminals for hire network.
Criminals are exploiting encrypted technology to recruit young people and coordinate serious criminal acts.
Police say the 2 teens are facing several charges, including failure to comply with court-ordered release conditions. Police allege the teens were lured by a gun-for-hire scheme playing out on encrypted messaging applications. Online recruiting is believed to be connected to a separate shooting at the consulate last March. Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkew says the motive behind both shootings is consistent, and investigators have determined that the same suspects in this latest incident allegedly set a car on fire in Caledon 3 days before the shooting. A critically endangered butterfly is displaying significant steps towards recovery in Manitoba thanks to the release of 199 of them this year. It's called the Powashik skipperling. The dark brown and orange colored butterflies are currently only found in the Tallgrass Prairie Preserve in Manitoba and Flint, Michigan. Assiniboine Park Conservancy and the Nature Conservancy of Canada have been working together to help save the butterfly from extinction. At the Assiniboine Park Zoo, conservation scientists are breeding them in a controlled environment before releasing them back in the wild. And this year it had the 2nd highest release rate in the program's history, pointing towards a positive direction.
One really major sign of success is that we released a bunch into a new site a couple of years ago, a reintroduction. So they were no longer found in this one patch of prairie. And then the following year, we saw wild individuals there. So that means the ones we released bred, laid eggs, and those eggs survived all the way through to adulthood the next year and were found in that site again. And we've seen that now for 3 years in a row.
The overall health of the population is showing significant improvement. There's a 19-time increase in observations of them at sites since annual monitoring began in 2018. Meantime, scientists have collected nearly 800 eggs in preparation for next year's release. It's not uncommon to spot coyotes in Toronto, but one woman had a close and completely unexpected encounter with one in her own home.
My cleaner went upstairs to start on the job, and she pretty nonchalantly called down to me that there was a fox in my bedroom. I thought maybe she was referring to a stuffed animal or something, so I went up to check it out, and no, it was a coyote. There was a coyote on my bed.
After a bout of mild panic, the family shut the bedroom door and called the police. The baby coyote, who snuck in when their front door was left open, stayed in the room for more than an hour, making a big mess. Wildlife Services eventually rescued, treated, and released the animal. Some of the nation's best horses are trotting into Brandon. Canada's National Arabian Horse Show is on now at the Keystone Centre. It will see upwards of 300 purebred and half Arabian horses in competitions ranging from performance halter to dressage and reining. The show is one of Canada's leading Arabian horses events. It runs until August 15th. And a look at the Norwood Bridge there. Traffic pretty light so far. If you have any tips to pass along, text them to us at 10400. And CTV's Ainsley McPhail is live this morning at West Kildonan Collegiate, I believe, and she's continuing her tour of Folklorama. Where are you today, Ainsley?
Germany! Prost! I found a beer boot. Well, there's no beer in it right now. It's just part of the little pieces of history that you could purchase. I was talking to cameraman Scott. He said, "Can I just bring my own boot?" And I thought, yeah, they have 4 German beers here. You can even get a beer flight. You can get a German wine flight. And don't get me started on the cake and the strudel and the pretzels and the schnitzel. I might as well just read you the menu. You can salivate all morning long. We're going to have a look at some of that food. The theme this year is Berlin, so there's tons of different history that you could learn about. There's also little bits of the Berlin Wall. We're going to be hearing about that coming up at 6:42. I have to tell you about the performances as well. We've got a band coming in and a German dance performance. I do hear that they're going to try and teach me some moves, so I'll do my best.
Looking forward to that, Ainsley. Thank you. And Tandy Vera up on the roof. Another cool start to the day, but good temperatures on tap for the weekend.
Yes, very good temperatures, very mild temperatures, not too hot, not too cold, just a nice in-between, which I quite frankly like to enjoy. 10 degrees right now, mostly clear outside. Winds gusting west at 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 93%. So across the province, we're starting with a very cool, chill start to the morning, which is to be expected. In Portage, it's 12 degrees currently, mostly clear for them. Brandon, much, much chillier, 8 degrees, but also mostly clear skies for them at the moment, with Dauphin at 11 degrees, cloudy skies that they're feeling, and the Pas at 14 degrees. So they're the warmest ones across the province at the moment. We do have Churchill at 9 degrees. They're actually experiencing some fog right now, according to Environment and Climate Change Canada, as well as Thompson at 12 degrees as well. Mostly cloudy conditions for them. For here in southern Manitoba, we can expect very dry conditions for the rest of the day, but also very chilly conditions because of that wind and those mild temperatures. I will say it's going to be sunny for most part of the morning, but in the later part of the afternoon, we're going to have that mix of sun and cloud, according to Environment and Climate Change Canada. But besides that, for today and the rest of the weekend, it's mostly just sunshine on the go for southern Manitoba and very dry conditions to go out and check out a pavilion. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with more CTV Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires, proudly keeping Canadians rolling for 50 years.
Winnipeg cell phones have been buzzing this summer with frequent tornado alerts, but despite those warnings, tornadoes don't always materialize in our area. Now, as CTV's John Hendricks shows you, Environment Canada is updating its warning system.
When tornadoes were spotted in southern Manitoba back in early June, Adriana Moreno got a number of warnings on her phone.
I remember that my phone was beeping all the time.
Which would have been great had she been close to the area where the tornadoes were, but she wasn't.
Maybe they didn't need that warning.
In the future, people like Moreno may get fewer of those false alarm warnings. Environment Canada is modernizing its alert system to provide more precise severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings by utilizing a polygon warning system. In a statement, a spokesperson writes, forecasters outlined the area most likely to be affected by a severe thunderstorm or tornado and send a warning only to people in that area. These alert areas are also known as free-form polygons.
The United States have been using the system, this type of an approach for warnings for many years.
John Hanasak is an atmospheric science professor at the University of Manitoba. He says the polygon warning system is much more targeted to the areas where the storm is actually heading.
So people that are within, say, a half an hour or an hour of the storm, depending on how fast it's traveling, they would actually have the warnings go out just for that localized area as opposed to a whole bunch of people getting the warning.
And that will mean fewer false alarms for people like Adriana Moreno.
It's going to be a good thing.
The new system is scheduled to go online Tuesday, August 11th. John Hendricks, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Despite the new system, Environment Canada is warning intrusive alert-ready messages on TV and radio will not be noticeably more precise. That's because of how large their broadcast areas are. However, it says wireless messages will be more precise and fewer mobile users will receive any given alert. Shoppers in the Garden City area can now load up on groceries and grab a bottle of wine all in one place.
You can grab your mix and grab your hard stuff at the same time.
A new concept liquor mart is now open inside Save On Foods at Northgate Shopping Centre. What makes this different from existing liquor mart express stores is that here all of the alcohol is behind glass and is only accessible by an employee. A digital menu board lists the available products and prices, and shoppers order, pay for, and collect their product from a service window.
What this brings here is our great convenience of being able to shop here with, a limited number of employees that still bring that service to the consumer with that knowledge and that product expertise.
Manitoba Liquor and Lottery says the store will be managed by 1 to 2 employees at a time. It's also the first fully cashless liquor mart. If the store proves popular with the public, Liquor and Lottery says other locations will follow. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says the Prime Minister needs to explain how an accused spy was able to intern at NATO headquarters.
How is it that this individual was not captured in the vetting process originally, but that other countries and governments were able to have the intelligence to find this troubling information?
CTV News identified the accused spy as Claire Biwei Zhang. Court records show Zhang submitted a fraudulent application for a job at the Canada Border Services Agency. Despite that red flag, Zhang was able to intern at SHAPE, which is NATO's military command center in Belgium. All prosecutors in Belgium would say is that a Canadian national of Chinese origin is under arrest on charges of espionage. Both NATO and Ottawa have not said outright if they are planning to review their vetting processes. Statistics Canada is set to release its latest labor force survey for the month of July this morning. A Reuters poll of economists predicts Canada added 15,000 jobs in the month after gaining 18,200 in June. They expect the unemployment rate to remain the same at 6.5%. Economists have said the labor market appears to be stabilizing after the first quarter of the year brought a mild contraction in employers' shed jobs. The economy likely fared a lot better in the second quarter, with StatCan estimating real GDP grew 3.4% on an annualized basis over the 3-month period. However, U.S. President Donald Trump's latest threats of 50% tariffs on a wide range of Canadian imports are casting fresh uncertainty over employers. At any age when many people are told to take it easy, one 97-year-old is proving the sky really isn't the limit.
Oh, Betty!
Betty Bromage from the UK broke her own Guinness World Record as the oldest female wing walker. Betty first tried the stunt at 87 and has now completed 6 wing walks.
When you get old, you can't go here, you can't do this, you can't drive, you can't see. I can't see very well. And I get a bit frustrated. So I want to do the things that I can do.
Her latest flight helped raise money for the hospital that cared for her after she suffered a stroke last year. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. Keniston will be closed between Lindenwood and Rothwell Road following the signaled detour. The westbound curb lane on Provencher will be closed from Allno to St. Joseph Street, and the southbound curb lane on Queen Street will be closed between Ness and Portage. If you have any traffic tips to pass along, text them to us at 10400.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
10 degrees, mostly clear outside, a few clouds, but that sun's peeking through beautifully. Winds gusting west at 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 93%. So 10 degrees, very chilly start to the day for us. It's going to be chillier throughout the day, but with a high of 23 degrees. In Brandon right now, it is 8 degrees, so much more chillier for them. We have Kenora at 13 degrees. We have Portage at 12 degrees, Dauphin at 11 degrees, and Swan River at 10 degrees. Looking up, we have the Pas at 14 degrees, Flin Flon also at 14 degrees. They're having mostly cloudy conditions at the moment. Lynn Lake at 13 degrees, Thompson 12 degrees, Churchill are experiencing some fog according to Environment and Climate Change Canada at 9 degrees, with Island Lake at 15 degrees. Now looking at our satellite image, not too much to show you for Manitoba. I do want to put a note that east of us they are experiencing a low pressure system and actually experiencing some thunderstorms at the moment and some severe rain. We don't have that on the go for us here in southern Manitoba. It's mostly going to be sunshine and dry conditions. conditions. However, for our friends up in the north, they might face some rainfall, scattered precipitation, according to Environment Climate Change Canada. But for us, 15 degrees by the time it's 8 a.m. When it's in the afternoon, about 2 p.m., 23 degrees, which is close to our high today, which is 24 degrees, with winds gusting northwest at 30 kilometers per hour. And later on in the evening time, also 23 degrees. For most part of the morning, it's going to be mostly sunshine on the go for us. The greater part of the afternoon, it's going to be that mix of sun and cloud. And looking into your 7-day forecast, as I mentioned, a high of 24 degrees for us today. Tomorrow, 22 degrees, so a little bit chillier. Our seasonal average is about 26 degrees, so we're a few degrees just shy from that. But the rest of the week, we just have sunshine on the go for beautiful sunshine vibes and conditions. Looking at our beautiful pick of the day. Wow, so gorgeous in Swan Lake. I love how gorgeous that sunset is, all the different colors. Absolutely beautiful. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with more CTV Your Morning Winnipeg.
About 9 out of 10 Canadians use at least one social media platform every week, and some of us are on them for hours a day. But for some people, social media is a huge part of their lives. So what happens if you're kicked off a platform with no chance of returning? Well, CTV's Pat Forn explains.
Letitia Van Roombeck of Toronto has had her Instagram account for 16 years. She uses it to post photos and videos and stay in touch with contacts she's made around the world. It's why 2 months ago she was shocked when she was locked out of her account.
My sister texted me, I was at work, and she goes, "Did you delete your Instagram? Disable your Instagram?" And I was like, "What?" So I quickly go on Instagram and I see a page that says your account's been disabled.
Van Roombeck says her account was blocked after she was told she had posted something that violated community guidelines. She felt she hadn't, and when her mother tried to help her back on the platform, she was locked out.
She tried to start another account and the same message came through. So it's almost like it banned her from Instagram totally for no reason.
Van Roombeck was not told what post caused the problems. Meta Pro Team said in an email, Meta already acknowledged an error with your Instagram account. You cannot request another review. Meta has finalized their decision.
It's just so derailing for something that's been my go-to for 16 years since I'm since I'm a teen to an adult now.
No one really knows why their accounts were suspended. And,
technology analyst Carmi Levy says most content on social media platforms is reviewed by AI bots, so they can misinterpret photos as being offensive when they're completely harmless. He says once you're kicked off a platform, it can be almost impossible to get back on.
There are no humans involved in this process. AI determines that the account is over the line. AI determines whether they get reinstated or not, and there's simply no opportunity to speak to a human who can help them.
Van Roombeck is glad she has some of her precious memories from other sources, but says Meta should be using people to flag inappropriate content and not AI.
I just hope that they get humans on it and bad guys out, good guys keep their stuff.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
This next live TV moment is something every tired parent can relate to.
Running 465 miles in a matter of days to make all of this happen.
Okay, Sleeping Beauty over here.
A TV anchor in Memphis was caught sleeping during an early morning newscast when the studio feed cut back unexpectedly. After a sleepless night caring for her baby and adjusting to life back at work, she struggled to stay awake on air. Then came an outpouring of messages from others who didn't judge her but came to her defense saying they lived the same reality. Hasn't happened to me yet, but today's could be the day. Looking a little busy out there on McPhillips. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Your Morning Winnipeg. Candy Vera's back with more weather now. Candy, I'm heading to the cabin for the weekend. Please, please tell me we're going to have some sunshine.
We're just going to have just sunshine and a bit of clouds, but mostly sunshine on the go for us. So that's great. 10 degrees right now, mostly clear outside with a few clouds. Winds gusting west at 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 93%. Looking at our satellite image, not too much to show you for today. We have very dry conditions for us here in southern Manitoba. Northern Manitoba overnight does have a 60% chance of precipitation and a risk of thunderstorms, specifically in the Thompson area as well as in the Churchill area, according to Environment and Climate Change Canada. But for Winnipeg here, what we have on the go, 24 degrees is our high. Seasonal average is 26, so we're just 2 degrees shy from that. Winds gusting northwest at 30 kilometers per hour. It'll be a mix of sun and cloud, mostly sunshine for the greater part of the morning. In the later part of the afternoon, pardon me, it's when we have that mix of sun and cloud, but more sunshine than we did have yesterday. Looking into the evening time, we have a low of 12 degrees. It's going to be our high. Winds gusting west at 20 kilometers per hour with only a few clouds in the sky, so it's going to be mostly a clear night for us. And looking into tomorrow, 22 degrees is going to be our high, so not too hot, not too cold, the nice in between. Great time to go out with winds gusting northwest at 20 kilometers per hour. It's mostly going to be sunshine, again, mostly sunshine in the morning, but according to Environment Canada, the sunshine and the clouds will increase through the greater part of the later part of the afternoon. So just something to keep of note. And looking to our 5-day forecast, great time to go out to the cabin. There's just sunshine on the go for us with that mixture of clouds in those mid to high 20s. So just want to keep that of note when planning out your day. But if you want to go out, take a walk, maybe grab a drink, go out to the Folklorama Pavilions as I did. It's an exceptional weekend to do so.
The province is stepping in to help fund Phase 3 of the city's North End sewage treatment plant.
We're good for $500 million towards the North End water treatment plant. This is a big project for more housing. We got to keep the economy moving here. And not only are we making the investment here, but we've been doing the negotiations with the feds to get them there for their share. And we just want to make sure that the city delivers this thing on budget now.
This phase is projected to cost around $1.57 billion. Included is a new facility to remove nutrients from treated water, making it cleaner when it enters the river. The province previously committed more than $432 million to phases 1 and 2, than half of which has already been paid. Phase 1 was completed earlier this year, and the second phase is expected to get underway soon. The entire project is expected to cost more than $3 billion. A city report last month said the new facilities are expected to begin treating biosolids in October of 2030 and will be completed by the following March. Winnipeg drivers are being warned of 2 major traffic disruptions this weekend. The city says rail crossing maintenance work will close Kenniston Boulevard in both directions between Lindenwood Drive East and Rothwell Road, and La Jamodier Boulevard will be closed southbound traffic between Dugald Road to Marion Street. Both closures begin tonight at 6 p.m. and end Monday at 6 a.m. Evacuations have expanded in British Columbia as massive wildfires continue to ravage several communities. More firefighters have landed from Mexico yesterday, part of the 600 who will be joining from outside BC to help in the battle on top of the 2,000 already on the ground. CTV's Andrew Johnson reports.
There are hundreds of homes in BC's Okanagan near Vernon that now look like this, including what was Bill and Kelly Richards' place.
It looks like a bomb went off in my house. There's nothing left of it.
They don't have insurance and don't know how they'll afford to rebuild. Their RV was untouched and may now become home.
The only comfort we got is sticking together and staying as a family unit.
The BC Wildfire Service is reporting progress in controlling the spread of the nearby Bradley Creek fire, but there is no rain in the forecast. Instead, a potential problem this weekend.
An incoming weather system of potentially more lightning, so we need help from the public to make sure you're not starting any human-caused wildfires.
Hundreds of kilometers to the west, the fire threat arrived on the edge of Metro Vancouver. 2 homes were evacuated in Anmore, and people inside dozens more were told to get ready to go.
It's now just very close to home for us, and this is the reality of the world that we're living in.
Winds helped firefighters keep the fire contained to a close call. More help is on the way for crews across the province. 200 firefighters from Mexico landed today, earning an airport welcome from the Premier.
A chance for firefighting crews in the province to catch their breath and be able to recover.
David Eby also responded to accusations he's been staying out of the spotlight while his province burns.
The last thing that wildfire fighters need when they're facing down a wall of flame is for the Premier to show up to hold a press conference.
The smoke from wildfires in BC and Washington state is still leading to air quality warnings here in Metro Vancouver. But interestingly, it may be helping fire crews in the Okanagan. The BC Wildfire Service says the thick blanket of heavy smoke is actually helping to block the sun and reduce fire behavior. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Toronto police have made an arrest in the Salsa on St. Clair shooting. It happened last month. 2 men were killed and multiple others were hurt in an exchange of gunfire at the event. More details on the arrests and the investigation are expected today. Iran says it's in the final stages of drafting an agreement with Oman to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The proposed deal would give Iran control over ships entering the strait, but there are still a few hurdles to clear. For one, the agreement would be contingent on the U.S. lifting its blockade of Iranian ports, and the U.S. is likely to object to Iran charging fees for vessels traveling through the strait. Well, the Stanley Cup is coming to Winnipeg. After helping claim hockey's ultimate prize this season, Carolina Hurricanes forward Seth Jarvis plans to bring the cup back to his hometown. Jarvis started playing hockey at age 4 for the Tuxedo Lightning, and he'll spend part of his day with the cup where it all began. The Hurricanes tell us Jarvis will be at Tuxedo Community Center on August 10th with an event open to the public. The photo op with the Stanley Cup champ starts at 1 p.m. And taking a look at the current traffic out on Portage Avenue there, moving's pretty smooth so far. Text any tips to us at 10400. Taking a look at your gas prices in Winnipeg, the average is $1.71, a small increase compared to yesterday, and the lowest price in the city is $1.56. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
And Ainsley McPhail is learning all about Germany this morning. She's at the Folklorama Pavilion. Details coming up after the break.
Weather is brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Research at bbb.org before you buy.
Very cool temperatures right now and a little bit windy. The wind does have a chill to it. I do wish I had my little coat with me. 10 degrees right now, mostly clear outside. Winds gusting west at 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 93%. So yes, a very cool start to the day. We're going to have a very cool, mild day. A high of 24 degrees for here in Winnipeg, 23 in the Brandon area. For most of southern Manitoba, we're going to have these mid to low temperatures. Right now, for most places, including Portage, Dauphin, and Brandon, and the Pas, they're experiencing mostly clear skies as we are here in Winnipeg. I do want to note in Churchill, they're still experiencing some fog at the moment, according to Environment and Climate Change Canada, whilst the Pas and Thompson is very cloudy. Sorry, I mentioned the Pas was clear. It's cloudy in the Pas, mostly cloudy conditions for them right now. But for us, on tap, on the go, what we have is beautiful sunny weather. The clouds will come in the later part of the afternoon, and that's dry conditions for most of southern Manitoba with that 60% risk for northern Manitoba. And now we're going to head over to Ainsley McPhail to see what she's up to at the German Pavilion.
Good morning. It's me and my lederhosen. I didn't have my dirndl today, so I thought I'd opt for my lederhosen. Good morning. Ellen, good morning. We're having so much fun already at the German Pavilion. Lots of new stuff this year, though. Ellen, tell us about it.
We've got several different new beverages. We have our Berliner Weisse, which is like a beer with some flavored syrup. Our theme this year is Berlin, and so it's kind of a little bit of a modern take on some German classics. We also have a late night party, so we will be partying from 11 until 1 tonight and tomorrow, so we're really excited for that.
Oh, wow. There's lots of, I mean, this goes without saying, lots of beer and wine options too, even flights.
Absolutely. So we've imported several different types of German beers all the way from Germany, which is really delicious and very exciting. And then we also have several food options. We new this year actually are our Berliners. So they're like a donut, a jam-filled donut. And we've got lots of pretzels and schnitzel, tons of different food and beverage options.
I could just stand here listening to you rhyme off the menu the whole morning. You mentioned the theme, Berlin, capital, lots to learn, bringing people in, telling them about the culture, sharing about the culture. Why is that important to you?
So I have a lot of German family, which so it's really nice to kind of pull back into our roots. It's also really nice. I love the diversity in Winnipeg itself, and so being able to kind of share our culture with the city, and then kind of learn about some other cultures. We get lots of the ambassadors from other pavilions coming to visit us, so it's very exciting for us to be able to share Germany with them, and then in turn we'll be going and exploring some of their pavilions next week.
Mm-hmm. Okay, zigga, zagga, zigga, zagga.
Oi, oi, oi.
Okay, tell me about the performances.
So we've got several dance performances. We've got some classical numbers. We've got some bigger group numbers. We've got our very own German Society brass band who performs and accompanies several of the dance performances, and lots of audience participation. If you want to come and you want to get your Stein up in the air, do a Prost with us, we're the place to be.
Do you speak German fluent?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, 'cause I was going to say, like, how do you say, like, hey, baby? Hey, someone send me an email. Okay, or don't. More after the break.
A look at the early markets. The Dow Jones is slightly up. The Nasdaq added 121 points. The S&P index had small gains. The Canadian dollar is lower, set to 71.35 cents US. Overseas, the Hang Seng increased 137 points, and the Nikkei is 76 points down. 2 more Manitoba communities are being sprayed for mosquitoes to reduce the risk of West Nile virus exposure. Data from last week shows high number of adult mosquitoes and evidence of West Nile infestations in the areas around Morden and the municipality of Boissevain-Morton. The province will spray Morden and an area 3 kilometers into the RM of Stanley, as well as a 3.5 kilometer radius around the intersection of Highway 10 and North Railway Street in Boissevain. The dates for fogging haven't been announced yet. As of July 31st, 91 mosquito samples tested positive for West Nile virus. We're learning some of the details in the tentative deal between WestJet and its flight attendants. The union for cabin crew members says the agreement includes an 18% raise over 3 years. Flight attendants will also be paid for work done on the ground. The two sides reached an agreement after a brief strike. Union members still have to vote on the deal. Meta is facing its largest fine yet over child safety. A New Mexico court has ordered the parent company of Instagram and Facebook to pay $567 million US for its failure to warn the public about dangers its platforms pose to children. The order came in the second phase of a landmark trial that the social media giant lost in March. The judge said $420 million of the money will be used for treatment services for young people. The rest will go towards awareness and prevention, screening services, and other costs over the next 5 years. Meta said in a statement that it disagreed with the ruling and will appeal it. Meta added that it remains confident of its record of protecting teens online. A new survey finds a quarter of Canadians say they are only able to afford minimum monthly payments on their credit cards each month. That's according to a new survey from Equifax. Another 7% believe they are likely to fall behind on payments. 56% said they do expect to pay their balances in full each month. The findings come as 40% report spending more overall than they were a year ago. That's compared to 18% who say they're spending less. The agency says the results point to increased pressure on household finances. 67% of respondents say they have reduced entertainment and leisure expenses, while 40% have cut spending on personal care. Average home prices continued their upward trajectory across the Winnipeg region last month, even as total sales declined. The latest report from the Winnipeg Regional Real Estate Board shows the average price for a residential detached home rose to about $454,000. That's up 2% compared to July 2025 and 6% higher than the 5-year average. The average condo price also rose 2% to just shy of $291,000. Total sales for all listings, however, fell 9% from last July. A new study shows marijuana use in the United States has now surpassed cigarette smoking. It comes from the National Survey on Drug Use and Health. It shows in 2025 nearly 44 million Americans used marijuana, while 36 million smoked cigarettes. Marijuana use was highest among young adults between 18 and 25, while cigarette use was highest among adults 26 and older. Despite marijuana's growing popularity, alcohol use still far exceeds marijuana and cigarettes. The study found nearly 130 million Americans currently drink alcohol. 44% of those are binge drinkers. A new grocery store is setting up shop at a Winnipeg mall. Canada's largest Asian grocery retailer, T&T Supermarket, is opening its first Manitoba store at CF Polo Park. The supermarket features a hot food bar, fresh Asian produce, baking, and Asian beauty products. The company, based in Richmond, BC, has been operating since 1993, but has seen rapid growth in recent years. It now has more than 40 locations across North America, including 37 in Canada. The Winnipeg store will occupy 48,000 square feet on the lower level of the mall. It's expected to open in the spring of 2028. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. Kenaston will be closed between Lindenwood and Rothwell Road. Follow the signal detour. The westbound curb lane on Provencher will be closed from Olno to St. Joseph Street, and the southbound curb lane on Queen Street will be closed between Ness and Portage.
10 degrees right now, mostly sunny outside. It's clearing up quite a bit. Winds gusting west at 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 93%. Now, looking at our satellite image, not too much to show you. Just east of us, they're facing a low pressure system and have been facing some thunderstorms this morning. But besides that, for here in Manitoba, it's mostly dry conditions for central and southern Manitoba. Up north, however, it's a different story. So looking at their highs today, Churchill a high of 12 degrees, Gimlin at 18 degrees, Thompson 17 degrees with that chance of precipitation, 18 degrees in Island Lake as well with that 60% chance overnight, according to Environment and Climate Change Canada. Looking into Lynn Lake, 16 degrees is their high today, so quite cool temperatures for them. Flin Flon at 17 degrees with Norway House at 19 degrees with that chance of precipitation and potentially a risk of a thunderstorm with the power at 19 degrees. Looking into the Dauphin area, 22 degrees with Swan River, also at 22 degrees, that mixture of sun and cloud that I mentioned before. Same with Brandon with their high of 23 degrees, so very mid to low 20 range temperatures. 24 degrees will be the high for Winnipeg, 22 degrees in Gimli, Portage at 23 degrees as well as Steinbach, 23 degrees. So that's the range of temperatures we're going to feel today. Very mild temperatures, great time to go outside to take a walk because it'll just be sunshine on the way with a few clouds in between. 22 degrees in Kenora, Dryden at 22 degrees as well. Now looking into our 7-day forecast, as I mentioned, a high of 24 degrees for us in Winnipeg today. Tomorrow, 22 degrees, so a bit cooler, mild temperatures on the way, and sunshine.
All right, let's check in now on Bo at Bounce 99.99. How many nines did I said a lot of nines there.
You're like Gabby. She gets on a roll and the nines just keep on coming. That's all right. Happy Friday.
You too.
Speaking of my lovely co-host, Gabby's off today, which is unfortunate because you've done a little bit of research. First of all, the Gold Eyes won their 12th game in a row last night. That breaks the club record, and they could even do better than that this weekend in Nebraska. If they win 3 games in Lincoln, they could tie the league record. But what's the tie-in that you did with Gabby and the Gold Eyes, Dan?
So you and I are emailing yesterday, and I look back at when this win streak started. On July 25th, you guys hosted Bounce Christmas in July at the ballpark, and Gabby threw out the first pitch. The Gold Eyes won that night and have not lost a game since, Bo. Incredible. I don't know. She has some juju. We should probably call up the Bombers, see if on the 14th when they're back in action, if she can do the coin toss or something, because I think we're on to something here.
That might do it because the Bombers need a lot of help, even though we're not playing this weekend. And the Sea Bears, well, they did well last night, aren't they? They're going off to Vancouver Saturday for the Western Conference Finals. So we had some winning sports teams here in the Peg last night. I was not at any sporting event. I was at the concert hall for Nikki Glaser, the comedian. I love her stuff, and she was hot last night. She offends a lot of people, but those of us there, we already know what we're getting. So it was a great show. And she's there again tonight tonight in front of a sold-out crowd. So if you're going to see Nikki Glaser, have fun there tonight. What do you got planned for the second weekend of August? I can't believe it's already the second weekend.
Right. We're heading out to Lester Beach. There's actually a punk show out at Hilltop Resort this weekend. So going to check out some music, sit on the beach a bit, and then maybe Sunday night hit Folklorama finally. I haven't had a chance this year.
Yeah, well, it's week number 2, so better late than never. Have a great weekend, Dan.
You too, Bo. Take care. A debilitating accident and dismal diagnosis turned the life of a Vancouver woman upside down. CTV's Adam Sawatsky found out how she was able to turn the grief into gratitude.
While Molly the dog can do all sorts of tricks, Jessica Kruger is most appreciative of her pup's personality.
I feel like she has the stubbornness that I have, so that's what I love most about her.
Now, Jessica was certainly stubborn when, after falling 2 stories during a workplace accident, dismissed her doctor's diagnosis that she was a quadriplegic.
At that time, I was like, no, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna figure out a way and be able to walk again.
You see, Jessica has always been active and involved in all sorts of athletics.
That was a huge part of my identity. I need a sport. Like, what's my sport gonna be?
That's when Jessica was introduced to wheelchair rugby.
Those chairs are built to smash into each other, and yeah, I think there was some sort of release in that for me.
It turns out Jessica had been repressing a lot of feelings around the accident before she found the courage to enter therapy.
It made me able to be honest with the people around me, which made me feel less alone.
Jessica was also empowered to stop hoping for the way things were and start making the most of how things are.
It's that internal thing within you that gets to decide what you're capable of.
For Jessica, that's earning a place on the provincial wheelchair rugby team and working to educate and empower others.
There's so many ways to do things differently, and I just want people to understand that and stop underestimating me and other people like me.
Along the way, Jessica also launched her own business, married the love of her life, and rather than regard her accident with regret, realized she couldn't be more grateful for its gifts.
I don't necessarily think that I would want somebody else to have to go through this journey, but I like the person that I've become because of the challenges that I've faced. All of the things that I love in my life are because of the accident.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.
Traffic moving well out on Confusion Corner, sun shining. It's Friday, and we'll be right back with more Your Morning Winnipeg. Friday, August 7th. Today, cracking down what the Winnipeg Police's latest drug enforcement blitz will entail. Plus, a one-stop shop, how a new Garden City Liquor Mart differs from other stores, and signs of success, how local groups are working to save an endangered butterfly species. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, I'm Daniel Homerson, joined by Tandy Vare on weather. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Folklorama Week 1 wraps up tomorrow night, and I mean, Ainsley's been a little all over the world, and today she's at the German Pavilion learning about some of the stuff there. I know there's a big brass band coming up later in the show, so stay tuned for that. Weekend is almost here. Sun is shining. Could we expect to see some nice temperatures throughout the weekend?
Yeah, some nice cool temperatures. Not too hot, not too cold, so nice in between, but mostly sunshine on the way for us with a bit of clouds in between. 10 degrees right now, mostly clear outside. Winds gusting west at 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 93%. Looking at our satellite image, not too much to show you for southern Manitoba. I do want to note, as we take a look here, I'll go the other side actually, we do have a low pressure system that is happening east of us, and they're actually experiencing some thunderstorms at the moment, according to Environment and Climate Change Canada. Our friends up in the north are not going to have as dry conditions as we have for today. Unfortunately, they have a 60% chance of precipitation overnight, and for some parts, including Churchill, 30% chance as early as 1 p.m. this afternoon. And you can see that over here mentioned in our graphics and icons here. But for most of southern Manitoba, it's mostly going to be clear. Parts of central Manitoba might receive some scattered precipitation into tomorrow, but that's just a low chance according to Environment Canada. For us, it's mostly going to be clear conditions, but again, as I mentioned, our friends up in the north, they will receive that rainfall and a risk of a thunderstorm, which we did have yesterday. In fact, we had a severe weather alert at about 1 p.m. It was lifted by 5 p.m. So there was just a warning of that, but we did have those intense winds. Not intense winds on tap for us today, mostly clear conditions with sunshine on the way and a few clouds in between. Looking at our 7-day forecast, our high for today is going to be 24 degrees. A seasonal average is about 26, so 2 degrees shy from that. Looking into tomorrow, it's going to be 22 degrees, but it's mostly just going to be sunshine for us, which is a beautiful time to go out this weekend with those cool, mild temperatures. I will say, being on the rooftop earlier this morning, it's a very cool start to the day, so maybe grab a light coat or light jacket with you just in case. And this is from Izzy, 8 years old. She's representing a little thunderstorm. Boom, boom, boom. Love this, Izzy. Please keep the pictures coming. To submit your child's weather art of the day, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form. Your art can be shown on Your Morning Winnipeg, and it will also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Keniston and Regent locations.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle Paint Your Own Pottery, now open on Regent and Keniston.
Today's the day police are beginning a 3-month-long targeted drug enforcement blitz in specific areas of the city, but say they're doing things differently this time around. CTV's Danton Unger explains.
Winnipeg police are set to begin another drug blitz.
Enforcement isn't a solution by itself, but it has a place.
It comes after the 10-day crackdown in June on open drug use in downtown and Point Douglas, areas police say had seen increasing crime and calls for service, as well as the highest rates of naloxone administration in the city. On Thursday, police gave a first look at the results of that blitz. 106 arrests, including 93 for warrants or breaches, 5 for drug possession, and 3 for drug trafficking. 7 people were also taken into the 72-hour drug detention center. As a result, police say compared to the same time last year, property crime dropped 10.5% to 263 incidents. Violent crime was down 16.5% to 106 incidents, and emergency calls were down 6% to 155 calls.
In the week or two following, we did see kind of a sustainment of results in terms of crime.
However, the initial crackdown faced heavy criticism from some in the community who were concerned it was doing more harm than good for those struggling with addiction and homelessness. So Police Chief Gene Bauer says this time they'll be doing it differently.
That community organizations should have been part of our efforts, hence we're here today.
Uniformed officers will be working with community outreach teams, part of a new coalition of 11 urban Indigenous and homelessness advocacy groups.
Indigenous organizations lead the engagement through their trusted relationships, cultural knowledge, and lived experience, while police provide support and resources where appropriate.
It's an approach Winnipeg Mayor Scott Gillingham is happy to see.
We can be compassionate towards those who are struggling with addiction and yet still not tolerate open illegal drug use.
Danton Unger, CTV News, Winnipeg.
This new crackdown begins today in the downtown and Point Douglas areas as before. This time, though, police are also targeting Osborne Village. It runs until November, when police will reassess the program. Shoppers in the Garden City area can now load up on groceries and grab a bottle of wine all in one place.
You can grab your mix and grab your hard stuff at the same time.
A new concept liquor mart is now open inside Save On Foods at Northgate Shopping Centre. What makes this different from other existing Liquor Mart Express stores is that here all of the alcohol is behind glass and is only accessible by an employee. A digital menu board lists the available products and prices, and shoppers order, pay for, and collect their products from a service window.
What this brings here is our great convenience of being able to shop here with, a limited number of employees that still bring that service to the consumer with that knowledge and that product expertise.
Manitoba Liquor and Lottery says the store will be managed by 1 to 2 employees at a time. It's also the first fully cashless liquor mart. If the store proves popular with the public, Liquor and Lottery says other locations will follow. The Federal Conservative Caucus is about to lose another member. Ontario MP Larry Brock Brock says he will resign from Parliament effective next month. He's planning to return to his old job at the Brantford Crown Attorney's Office. Brock was first elected to Parliament in 2021. He had previously served as the Conservative Justice Critic. Brock is the 7th Conservative MP to leave the caucus since the 2025 election. If you were hoping to hit the greens at Gilbert Plains Country Club golf course this summer, you're out of luck. The course is closed for the rest of the season. The call was made due to, quote, ongoing conditions, repairs, and construction affecting the course. The area was hit with massive amounts of rain last month. It's working on next steps regarding refunds, and it's holding a 50-50 fundraiser to help pay for the insurance deductible. A critically endangered butterfly is displaying significant steps towards recovery in Manitoba thanks to the release of 199 of them this year. It's called the Powashik skipperling. The dark brown and orange colored butterflies are currently only found in the Tallgrass Prairie Preserve in Manitoba and Flint, Michigan. Assiniboine Park Conservancy and the Nature Conservancy of Canada have been working together to help save the butterfly from extinction. At the Assiniboine Park Zoo, conservation scientists are breeding them in a controlled environment before releasing them back into the wild. And this year it had the second highest release rate in the program's history, pointing towards a positive direction.
One really major sign of success is that we released a bunch into a new site a couple years ago, a reintroduction. So they were no longer found in this one patch of prairie. And then the following year, we saw wild individuals there. So that means the ones we released bred, laid eggs, and those eggs survived all the way through to adulthood the next year and were found in that site again. And we've seen that now for 3 years in a row.
The overall health of the population is showing significant improvement. There's a 19-time increase in observations of them at sites since annual monitoring began in 2018. Meantime, scientists have collected nearly 800 eggs in preparation for next year's release. And traffic out on Main and Broadway slowly starting to pick up out there. If you have any tips to pass along, text them to us at 10400.
Canadian vitamin and supplement supplier Jameson is being taken private by a Japanese firm in a $2 billion deal. Kieran Holdings says, "We see significant opportunities in North America, and we intend to use Jameson's distribution channels, brand, and customer relationships as a foundation while looking for ways to take the business to the next level." A notable data center supplier, Applied Optoelectronics, reported second quarter revenue of $192 million, beating analysts' estimates. The company anticipates demand to outpace production capacity through mid-2027. A New Mexico judge has ordered Meta to pay more than $900 million and limit the time young people in the state can spend on its apps, significantly increasing the cost of the landmark child safety verdict against the Facebook and Instagram parent. Meta is facing thousands of lawsuits from state attorneys general, school districts, and individual plaintiffs that allege the company gave priority to growth over the safety of its underage users. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
CTV's Ainsley McPhail has had quite the week. The Philippines, India, Ireland, and now Germany. Of course, we're talking Folklorama. How's the morning going so far, Ainsley?
It can't be a bad morning when you're starting it off with cake. Seriously, a lot of people don't know this about me. I'm from a place called Kitchener, Ontario, formerly called Berlin, the second biggest Oktoberfest in the world next to Germany. So, Prost. I am well versed in a place like the German Pavilion, and we're getting along just fine. To the menu, look at the Black Forest cake. We've got German cream and chocolate. We've got a jam buster, a strudel, and the pretzels, which of course you can get with cheese. The drinks, they've got 4 German beers here as well. Coming up at 7:27, we're going to be learning about what's new. We're also going to get a little bit of a history lesson. Berlin is the theme this year, which is also new, and there's little bits of the Berlin Wall. Also, live performances. You can't go wrong with cake, beer, strudel, and dancing.
Thank you so much, Ainsley. And Tandy, you can't go wrong with some beautiful weather heading into the weekend.
No, you cannot. And we're going to have some beautiful sunshine weather. Feeling the sun right now, and it is glorious. It's 11 degrees, mostly sunny outside. Winds gusting west at 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising, and the humidity is sitting at 94%. So beautiful sunshine, still very cool temperatures. The winds have decreased quite slightly, so it doesn't have that much of a chill to it. But we will have these mild conditions for the rest of the day. Portage is at 12 degrees right now, also experiencing mostly sunshine. Same in Brandon, sunshine for them, but 8 degrees, so much chillier. So again, very cool start to the day. We do have Dauphin at 12 degrees as well. Sunshine for them. I do want to note in the PA, it is 14 degrees, so quite warmer, but it's mostly cloudy. Same with Thompson, mostly cloudy conditions at 13 degrees. And Churchill experiencing some fog still this morning at 10 degrees. They've been experiencing some fog or mist interchangeably every day for this week, which is something of note. Northern communities do have a 30% chance of precipitation in the early part of the afternoon. In the late part of the night and overnight, they do have a 60% chance of precipitation as well as a risk of a thunderstorm. For us here in southern Manitoba, it's mostly going to be dry conditions and sunshine, and you can never go wrong with some good sunshine weather.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
All right, time now for our question of the day. Can you function in the morning without coffee? Well, you can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response, and don't forget to include your name.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic, science-backed body contouring.
At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions have been amazing, and we want to see even more. Whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals, send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca. Catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week. And speaking of a break, we're going to take one right now, but don't go away. We'll be right back with more Your Morning Winnipeg. The province is stepping in to help fund Phase 3 of the city's North End sewage treatment plant.
We're good for $500 million towards the North End water treatment plant. This is a big project for more housing. We got to keep the economy moving here. And not only are we making the investment here, but we've been doing the negotiations with the feds to get them there for their share. And we just want to make sure that the city delivers this thing on budget now.
The phase is projected to cost around $1.57 billion. Included is a new facility to remove nutrients from treated water, making it cleaner when it enters the river. The province previously committed more than $432 million to Phase 1 and 2, more than half of which has already been paid. Phase 1 was completed earlier this year, and the second phase is expected to get underway soon. The entire project is expected to cost more than $3 billion. A city report last month said the new facilities are expected to begin treating biosolids in October of 2030 and will be completed by the following March. Trade is still dominating talks with our neighbors south of the border as the clock ticks down to the latest round of U.S. tariffs on Canadian goods.
Will we get all of that by the 19th of August? We'll see, but we want to have pathways in order to get that.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and Janice Charette, our country's chief trade negotiator, met with U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer in Washington yesterday. LeBlanc posted on social media after the meeting saying they had a constructive and detailed discussion, something that seems to be a clear contrast to what U.S. President Donald Trump said Wednesday night.
Canada's nasty. They are. They're nasty. People think Canada, they're nasty. People, I love the people, but they're nasty. Nasty leadership.
Carney responded saying no matter what adjective is used, Canada is standing up for Canadian workers. Trump's latest threats of 50% tariffs on a wide range of Canadian imports is set to come into effect on August 19th. And some of the nation's best horses are trotting into Brandon. Canada's National Arabian Horse Show is on now at the Keystone Centre. It will see upwards of 300 purebred and half Arabian horses in competitions ranging from performance halters encounters to dressage and reining. The show is one of Canada's leading Arabian horse events. It runs until August 15th. And a look at the current traffic on Osborne Street. Not too much to show you, but please pass along any tips to us at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
The teaser trailer is out for the first ever Cocomelon movie.
We'll find you beer and get you home, but it won't be easy.
It marks the next step for the franchise, which grew from a YouTube channel featuring colorful animations and children's songs. The teaser featured a mix of familiar and new characters heading out on an adventure in search for a lost toy. The voice cast includes Grammy winner SZA, Ike Barinholtz, and Nicholas Hoult. The Cocomelon movie is expected to debut next year. Disney is interpreting the positive response to the new Spider-Man movie as a good sign for the superhero genre.
But you're in danger. You just have to trust me. Fine.
Spider-Man Brand New Day has quickly become the highest grossing movie of 2026 so far, surpassing $1.1 billion US in global ticket sales in less than a week. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Disney CEO Josh D'Amaro told an earnings call this week the result bodes well for the upcoming Avengers Doomsday. It will follow a stretch of Marvel movie releases that have fallen short of previous highs, with some critics citing superhero fatigue as the reason. And Canadian actor Elliot Page says he was blown away after reading the Odyssey script for the first time.
I mean, my first reaction was, honestly, it was similar to reading the script to Inception. Like, I really was just left breathless, like really blown away by something that was so complex, so massive.
Page made the comments on Wednesday's airing of The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon. In the film, Page plays the Ithacan soldier Sinon. This is Page's second time working with director Christopher Nolan, with the first being Inception. Film critics are calling Page's character the soul of the film. Here's your Friday primetime lineup. Spring Break Murders starts at 7. Crime Scene Investigators is next at 8. And at 9, watch The Rebuild inside the Montreal Canadiens. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
11 degrees and mostly sunny outside. Winds gusting west at 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 94%. So yes, 11 degrees and sunshine on the way. We're going to have sunshine mostly for the greater part of the morning, and that cloud coverage will increase through the afternoon. But looking at our currents across the province, we have, as I said, Winnipeg at 11 degrees, Gimli 13 degrees, Portage at 12 degrees. They was experiencing some sunshine, as well as in Brandon, which is at 8 degrees, a little bit cooler for them. Dauphin area at 12 degrees, with Swan River at 11 degrees. And looking up, the Pas at 14 degrees, mostly cloudy conditions, as well as in Flin Flon 14 degrees, with Lynn Lake at 13 degrees. Thompson, cloudy conditions, 13 degrees. Churchill still experiencing some fog this morning at 10 degrees. And Island Lake 15 degrees, a mix of cloud and sun coverage for them currently. Nothing much to show you in terms of our satellite image, besides the fact that just east of us, they do have a low pressure system that's been forming all morning, and they've been experiencing some thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms, according to Environment and Climate Change Canada. But for us, for the rest of the day here in Winnipeg, what we have on the go, by the time it's 8 a.m., we're going to have those cool conditions at about 15 degrees. In the afternoon, it's going to be 23 degrees, winds gusting northwest at 30 kilometers per hour. So the winds will increase slightly, not as intense as they were yesterday. I almost got blown away whilst being at one of the pavilions. But 23 degrees later on in the afternoon as well. Our high today is 24 degrees, so it'll just be 1 degree shy from that. But those mild conditions is what we can expect for the rest of the day, with lots of sunshine and clouds in the later part of the afternoon. So as I said, our high today 24 degrees, tomorrow 22. So those cool, mild temperatures. And the rest of the week, it's just going to be sunshine on the go. So great time to go outside, take a walk. Look at this beautiful Skywatch picture from Jeanette. Love it so much. The colors, it's absolutely gorgeous in Swan Lake. Keep the pictures coming, please, at Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
August 7th, 1954. England's Roger Bannister beat Australia's John Landy in what became known as the Miracle Mile at the British Empire Games in Vancouver. It was the first time two men ran the same mile race in under 4 minutes. 3 months earlier, Bannister became the first runner to break the 4-minute barrier. August 7th, 1993. Buckingham Palace in London was open to the public for limited tours. The money raised from the $12 admission fee and souvenir sales was earmarked for repairing Windsor Castle, which had been severely damaged by fire the previous November. August 7th, 2013. The Montreal, Maine and Atlantic Railway filed for bankruptcy protection in Canada and the U.S. amid a flurry of lawsuits over the rail disaster at Lac-Mégantic, Quebec. Cleanup costs to be borne by the company were expected to exceed $200 million. The disaster, which happened on July 6th of that year, resulted in the deaths of 47 people.
If you need a private place at home to log on to an online meeting, where else are you going to go?
Because I can see you washing.
Oh, okay.
I'm just suggesting. But anyway, please.
Can you see me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, that's great. Okay, you can see my washing, you can see me. It's no problem. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Dunedin City Councillor member Jo Gaylor logged into a meeting from her bathroom. She didn't seem too concerned before going into her speech about government reform, even as someone appears to be moving behind the shower door. Not surprisingly, people who saw this video online have questions. Time now for this week's Adorable Adoptables. We begin with Remy. He's looking for a family to help him live out his golden years, but at 7 still has lots of bounce and wiggle to his step. Remy is loyal, gentle, and so kind, and he wants to be your bestie. Next up is Boone. This 8-month-old bright boy is loving and kind, has big smiles for everyone he meets, and has been having a blast learning with our team. Boone also loves playing with other dogs and has been referred to as a perfect gentleman. And meet Spots, a young cat with a heart full of curiosity and bravery. Spots loves exploring her surroundings. Her inquisitive eyes light up with every new adventure, making her a delightful companion for anyone who cherishes the thrill of discovery. If you think you can offer any of these animals a good home, just head down to the Winnipeg Humane Society or give them a call. The number's on your screen. And Ainsley McPhail is at the German Pavilion, all part of Folklorama, and it looks like we're going to get a sneak peek at some of the food coming up after the break. CTV's Ainsley McPhail is live this morning at West Kildonan Collegiate, which has been transformed into a little piece of Berlin this week, all part of Folklorama, of course.
Good morning. Yes, we're at the German Pavilion. Cameraman Kenny and I get into one ongoing debate. What is better, cake or pie? And today, we're going to try and settle it alongside Chantal at the German Pavilion. Look at these fresh desserts, and we're really talking fresh.
Yes, we are. So we have a Berliner donut, which is like a jam buster filled pastry. That is delivered fresh to our pavilion every day, as well as our pretzels. I mean, how can you go wrong with a pretzel? We also have our, of course, apple strudel. You come to the German Pavilion, you expect a few things. Apple strudel is one of those. Our Black Forest cake, one of my favorites, one of my daughter's favorites. And then, of course, German chocolate, which I only eat at the pavilion every year. So it is special to me as per Folklorama.
Something cool, too, about German chocolate in general is you can pick up little sweets when you walk in the door.
Yes, we really pull you in with our food. So we do sell German chocolate at our souvenir table. We also have Steins for sale if you want to participate in our show and really feel like one of us.
Folklorama, time and time again. Of course, you guys have more than 5 decades of history here. But what's new this year?
Well, our theme this year is Berlin, which is a modern take on, I think, what you would expect coming to the German Pavilion. We will not let you down, I do promise. There is a lot of Southern German Oktoberfest feel, I promise. But we do like to keep a modern spin. So Berlin, the capital, that is pretty special place where a lot of things happen. Techno music kind of thrives there. There's a lot of fun audience participation in the show, and we love to teach you guys something.
Okay, well, maybe teach me a little bit now. Is that okay?
Oh, boy.
I know a few.
You know a few?
Yeah, zig a zig, zig a zig.
Oi, oi, oi.
See, there's a little bit of that, a little bit of that. And then when you have your boot, you're onwards.
Hold it up high. That's like number one. You hold your Stein up high.
Do you have a favorite? Am I allowed to ask that?
That's a tough question. I think that's the toughest reporting we're going to be doing here this morning. I mean, I do love the Black Forest cake. How can you go wrong with Black Forest cake? It goes with everything. It goes in the morning. It goes at the night's end. Like, I could eat it all the time.
Thank you so much. And that was a knock at cameraman Kenny. Okay, we'll see you guys again at 7:42.
Thanks, Ainsley. Tandy, is cake for breakfast allowed? Where do you land on that?
I say yes. I feel like a sweet treat at breakfast. Why not? I love a good Black Forest cake at breakfast time.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. 11 degrees right now, mostly sunny outside. Winds gusting west at 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 94%. Not too much to show you on our satellite image for today. I do want to note that our friends in Eastern Ontario are facing some severe thunderstorms according to Environment Canada, as well as some severe rain. So quite intense rain for them. But for us here in Winnipeg, what we have on the go, 24 degrees is going to be our high today. Winds gusting northwest at 30 kilometers per hour. We're going to have a mix of sun and cloud, mostly sunshine for the greater part of the morning. And then in the afternoon, we're going to have those clouds starting to appear more frequently. Not as cloudy as it was yesterday. It's going to be a nice balance of that mix. By the time we get into the evening, it's going to be 12 degrees, winds gusting west at 20 kilometers per hour. And it's going to be a few clouds in the sky. So it's going to be clearing out by the evening time. By midnight, it's just going to mostly be clear skies outside. So a beautiful day and a beautiful night. 22 degrees is our high tomorrow. Winds gusting northwest at 20 kilometers per hour, pardon me. Those mostly sunny skies for us, but I do want to mention the clouds will increase. According to Environment Canada, the cloud coverage will increase through the greater part of the day, kind of like what we had yesterday. We did have that sun and also that wind, and it was also quite humid, but towards the end of the day, it was very, very cloudy outside and not too much sunshine. We could expect that for us for tomorrow, but looking into the next 5 days, it's mostly sunshine on the way. So beautiful, beautiful sunshine for us. Those mid to mild temperatures ranging from the 20s and a few clouds covering the sky. But again, mostly sunny days on the way. So if you want to go out, head out, check out a pavilion and maybe grab some cake.
If you were hoping to hit the greens at Gilbert Plains Country Club golf course this summer, you're out of luck. The course is closed for the rest of the season. The call was made due to, quote, ongoing conditions, repairs, and construction affecting the course. The area was hit with massive amounts of rain last month. It's working on next steps regarding refunds, and it's holding a 50-50 fundraiser to help pay for the insurance deductible. Statistics Canada is set to release its latest labour force survey for the month of July this morning. A Reuters poll of economists predicts Canada added 15,000 jobs in the month after gaining 18,200 in June. They expect the unemployment rate to remain the same at 6.5%. Economists have said the labour market appears to be stabilizing after the first quarter of the year brought a mild contraction and employers shed jobs. The economy likely fared a lot better in the second quarter, with StatCan estimating real GDP grew 3.4% on an annualized basis over the 3-month period. However, U.S. President Donald Trump's latest threats of 50% tariffs on a wide range of Canadian imports are casting fresh uncertainty over employers. Crews from Mexico have arrived in BC to help fight devastating wildfires. The 200 firefighters were welcomed by Premier David Eby. They're part of a wave of reinforcements that will also see crews from Australia and New Zealand join the fight. Firefighters already on the ground are in an uphill battle against fires that have destroyed hundreds of homes while forcing thousands of people to flee.
It's looking like World War III, but hey, we're doing the best we can to get things back to normal and get people back into their homes. But it'll be a little bit yet.
Most of the people who were forced out by the Bradley Creek fire have not been able to check on their properties because it's not safe enough to go back. The Pear Lake fire, however, continues to grow. An evacuation order has now been expanded into the area near Lillooet. The Anmore fire burning in Metro Vancouver is now considered under control. People who had to leave 35 properties can now go home. Firefighters plan to remain on scene just in case the fire flares back up. U.S. President Donald Trump has signed 2 executive orders targeting so-called birth tourism and birthright citizenship.
We had a very unfortunate decision in the Supreme Court concerning birthright. It was close, but a very, very unfortunate decision. So we're making adjustments because it's very unfair.
The U.S. Supreme Court rejected an earlier effort to curb birthright citizenship back in June. The executive order signed by Trump yesterday expands the definition of people who are ineligible for birthright citizenship. It also bans what they call birth tourism, saying people are coming to the U.S. and pretending to be on vacation while pregnant, when in fact they intend to deliver their child while there. The American Civil Liberties Union says the new orders are doomed to fail in court. The European Union has once again pushed back a new travel requirement for Canadians. After years of delays, a new travel authorization for visa-exempt travelers to 30 European countries no longer has an official launch date. It was first set to take in effect in 2021 and has been pushed back several times. When it does take effect, it will require Canadians traveling for fewer than 90 days within a 180-day period to complete a visa-like application. Well, the Stanley Cup is coming to Winnipeg. After helping claim hockey's ultimate prize this season, Carolina Hurricanes forward Seth Jarvis plans to bring the cup back to his hometown. Jarvis started playing hockey at age 4 for the Tuxedo Lightning, and he'll spend part of his day with the cup where it all began. The Hurricanes tell us Jarvis will be at the Tuxedo Community Center on August 10th with an event open to the public. The photo op with the Stanley Cup champ starts at 1 p.m. And we want to show you a creative way people are trying to cool down in Europe amidst sweltering heat. In Croatia, some people are going horseback riding in the sea. Tourists at a Croatian island could be seen riding their horses into the sea. The horses trotted in the water with their riders sitting snugly on top of the animals. The clear water could be seen rippling onto the island, providing a cool way to cool down from the scorching heat. And Winnipeg drivers are being warned of 2 major traffic disruptions this weekend. The city says rail crossing maintenance work will close Keniston Boulevard in both directions between Lindenwood Drive East and Rothwell Road, and Lachemodier Boulevard will close to southbound traffic between Dougal Road to Marion Street. Both closures begin tonight at 6 p.m. and end Monday at 6 a.m. And a look at your gas prices here in Winnipeg. The average is $1.71, a small increase compared to yesterday, and the lowest price in the city, $1.56. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
11 degrees outside in Winnipeg right now. We'll be back with more on CTV, Your Morning Winnipeg.
Degrees, mostly sunny outside, winds gusting west at 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 94%. Not too much to show you on our satellite image this morning. I do want to note that our friends in the north might experience some rainfall as early as 1 p.m. according to Environment Climate Change Canada, and overnight they do have that risk of a thunderstorm. But looking at our highs for today across the province, we have Churchill at 12 degrees, mostly cloudy conditions, as well as a risk of a thunderstorm. Our icon isn't showing that at the moment, but 17 degrees for Thompson with that slight chance of precipitation. Island Lake at 18 degrees with a 60% chance of precipitation. Same with Lynn Lake, which will be at 15 degrees. We have Flin Flon, 17 degrees, mostly cloudy conditions. Nowhere House, 19 degrees, cloudy conditions. So very cool mid temperatures for our friends up in the north and parts of central Manitoba. Swan River at 22 degrees. The Dauphin area, 22 degrees as well. Mostly a mix of sun and clouds. Sunshine in the morning time, more clouds to come in the afternoon. 23 degrees in the Brandon area. Looking to Winnipeg, as I mentioned, our high today is going to be 24 degrees. Seasonal average is about 26 degrees, so we're just 2 degrees shy from that. Gimli at 22 degrees, also experiencing a mix of sun and clouds, with Portage at 23 degrees and Steinbach also at 23 degrees. Looking into our friends in the east, Kenora 21 degrees, Red Lake 19 degrees with that chance of precipitation, Dryden at 22 degrees. And now looking into our 7-day forecast, as I mentioned, our high today is going to be 24 degrees. Tomorrow, 22 degrees, so much chillier. We just have sunshine on the way with those mild mid temperatures, very cooling conditions, but very nice to go out to take a walk and maybe enjoy some pavilions. I do want to make a note that we might receive some mild precipitation on Wednesday, but that's very dependent according to Environment and Climate Change Canada.
CTV's Ainsley McPhail is live this morning at the German Pavilion, and now you're learning a little bit more about the culture and even pieces of the Berlin Wall.
Welcome to Berlin. Good morning. Such a vast cultural display. I guarantee you will learn something when you come to our mini Germany. I am joined by Axel. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I feel so welcomed, but there's lots to learn. Tell us about the theme.
Yeah, the theme this year is Berlin. And so we put together a couple interesting aspects of Berlin. So visitors can learn interesting things about Berlin. They can look at these are small pieces of the Berlin Wall. It's a typical souvenir. When you go to Berlin, you can find that everywhere in souvenir stores. You can also learn about this guy. This is a buddy bear, a miniature version of it. The real ones are full-size, they're 2 meters tall, and they're spread all over the city. And they all look the same, but they're painted differently by international artists. And the idea is to promote peace and tolerance. And they also travel around the world, so there are buddy bear exhibits all over the world, and they serve as ambassador for Berlin.
I don't think that I could do a segment this morning without discussing German food. It has come up in every single segment, but that's not a problem for me. Tell us about the currywurst.
Yeah, so Berlin has its own cuisine, and one dish that originated in Berlin is the Currywurst. So that's pork sausage that's sliced into bite-sized pieces and is served with a special sauce, the curry sauce. That's where the name comes from. It's mainly ketchup and curry powder and some other ingredients. So each store or each place has their own sauce, and they keep that a bit of a secret. So there's always a debate who has the best currywurst in Berlin. So there's always a competition about that.
It sounds like something that you would have after the pub. Before we're out of time, tell us about the music.
Yes, so what you can hear in the background is a barrel organ. So that was an instrument that was very popular in the 1900s in Berlin. So you would see a barrel organ player in the streets, in market squares, and they would just crank a handle and play this music. And even today, so there is an international barrel organ festival every year in Berlin. And yeah, you can still experience that kind of music.
Thank you. Come to the German Pavilion to dance yourself.
One of the largest LGBTQ+ districts in North America is about to get a makeover. The Village in Montreal has seen a rise in people struggling with homelessness, addiction, and mental illness. Here's CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin on the restoration project.
Local merchants and residents of the Village say disrepair, drugs, and homelessness are now hallmarks of this district with a rich history. Montreal is now planning a $200 million overhaul, including sewer and street repairs, trees, and the return of an iconic piece of public art. A canopy of colorful balls that once drew tourists from around the world to the area then known as the Gay Village.
More than a public artwork, they have become a symbol of both the Village and Montreal.
The exhibit that was dubbed 18 Shades of Gay was designed by now deceased landscape architect Claude Cormier.
Nothing on the ground.
Cormier also designed projects throughout North America, including Toronto's Sugar Beach. In Montreal, the 180,000 recycled plastic balls were suspended over St. Catherine Street East from 2011 to 2019 and were eventually sold off to support local merchants. The Village long reflected the evolution of Montreal's LGBTQ+ culture and community and became a hub for activism and social life.
Quand on est gay, on est fier d'être gay.
We were proud to be gay and proud of the gay district, says Guy Sarrazin. Now it has fallen into disrepair. It needs love. Local associations demand more housing, but the city also says its project will strengthen the Village's identity and commercial vitality. Now, this facelift is expected to take some time. It will start with preparatory work in September and last until 2030. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
All right, let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 68th birthday to Marlene from all the family in St. Laurent. So happy 68th birthday, Ellen Jean. Much love from all your family and friends. Happy 60th birthday, Madeline. Love and thanks for all you do from Tanner, Carissa, Bentley, Alyssa, Braden, and Ken. Happy birthday, Garth, from Laura and Rob. Happy 27th anniversary to Peter and Valerie. Love from your family. Happy 11th birthday, Paisley. Love from your mom, dad, sister, and the rest of your family. Happy birthday, Jack. Love from your family. Happy birthday, Laura. Wishing you a great birthday and many more from Winnipeg Cares and Shares. Happy 6th birthday, Evie. Mama and Kitty send their love and wish you a magical weekend. And a very happy 65th anniversary, Marilyn and Dawn, with love from your family. Submit your milestone. Visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
24 degrees is our high today. Our seasonal average is about 26 degrees. Last year it was about 28, 23 degrees, kind of what we had yesterday. The record breaking, which is quite a record, 1949, 40.3 degrees, so quite intense heat. 40.6, pardon me. I read that a little bit wrong. It's currently 11 degrees here in downtown Winnipeg. Mainly sunny outside, winds gusting west at 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 94%. It's still a little cool right now, so we're starting the day with these cool temperatures. We're going to have those mid-average temperatures for the rest of the day, and that's just on the menu for the whole of the province, pardon me. Portage, 12 degrees right now, experiencing some sunshine. Same in Brandon with sunshine, 8 degrees. I do want to put a note in Thompson, 13 degrees, but they're experiencing some light rain shower, according to Environment and Climate Change Canada. It started about 7:29 a.m., which was to be expected due to that low pressure system that I mentioned earlier. They also still have that risk overnight, a risk of a thunderstorm, as well as the Churchill area and in the past. So that's something to keep of note when traveling about and planning your day. For southern Manitoba and central Manitoba, it's mostly going to be dry conditions on the way for us with the sunshine for the early part of the morning, mostly sunshine, and then a mix of clouds later on.
The residents of a home in Toronto found themselves with an unwanted visitor inside their home earlier this week. A young coyote made its way inside and made itself comfortable in an upstairs bedroom. CTV's John Musselman has the story.
It all began on Tuesday morning around 11 a.m. when Alice Kent and her son Rex were alerted by their cleaning lady that an unwelcome guest got into their home on Penrose Street near Christie.
She pretty nonchalantly called down to me that there was a fox in my bedroom.
Turns out it wasn't a fox at all, but instead a coyote pup that got into the house when the front door was left open.
We're quite shocked and surprised to see a coyote in the house.
I just heard a bunch of commotion going on upstairs. And so I go to see what's happening, and everyone comes down. There's a coyote in the bedroom.
And this coyote had mange, a skin disease that can make the animal look sickly.
It was a concern, especially once I shut my bedroom door behind a coyote that had mange and was on my bed. Not a great feeling.
Kent called Toronto police, and fortunately, staff with Toronto Wildlife Services were nearby on a coyote call. Kent says she spotted 2 coyote pups in her backyard days earlier. It's believed the pups were spotted in several backyards.
And I saw all of them shuffle into the room, and they shut the door behind them, and they just heard a bunch of rummaging around. They were making a plan to get it out, and then 2 minutes later they opened the door. Coyote in the kennel. It was wow.
We're keeping the doors closed more. We also are super happy to hear that all of the family members have been caught and treated and re-released.
It was a successful rescue, and the pup has been treated.
We did do a quick exam on the coyote pup. As we expected, it had sarcoptic mange. Our veterinary team was consulted back at the Wildlife Center, and then the coyote was treated on site with the medication to combat this mange, and then released back in the area to his family.
But the surprise visitor left a big mess in the bedroom.
Very stinky.
Yeah, describe that. Yeah, it was the cops, and they popped the door open even just a little bit to try and look inside. You could get a waft of, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just animal and pee and feces. And dust.
Kent says she never expected anything like this, a story the family will be sharing for years to come. John Musselman, CTV News.
Have you ever wanted to walk on the water? Well, in Rothesay, New Brunswick, you can do just that. CTV's Avery McRae explains.
As the first official walkers on Rothsay's newest attraction, Melody Giovannini and Rose Elizabeth say,
I think it's really sturdy and it looks pretty well made. Yeah, and I like the seaweed and I like the view.
The Rothsay Float Walk is now open to the public. Located at the East Riverside Kinghurst Park, the walk on the water gives people a new view of the tidal Kennebecasis River.
How cool is it to kind of walk on water out there?
Very cool.
I don't know if I'd want to have been out here the other day when it was windy. You could see the waves really rocking it, but it is really nice.
It's wow. And a day like this, squishy. And it's also the Cadillac of docks.
The dock pieces have been in the town's possession for many years after they were first purchased to help combat severe Spring River flooding, which happened in both 2018 and 2019. Mayor Matt Alexander says the idea to use the docks for a floating walkway has been bantered about for years.
There's no swimming, no jumping, no tying your boats to it. It's not designed for that. People could probably fish off of it, but you got to make sure that you have the proper licensing and that you're not going to hook somebody.
Alexander points out the river waters can be rough during high winds and urges residents to use caution when walking on the docks. When asked if there is anywhere else in the region with a similar water walk, very few come to the mayor's mind.
I think Greenwich National Park and PEI has a floating walkway, but it goes from one dune to another. But I don't think there's anything in the river system where people can go up and down with the tides.
The mayor says he would like to see the walkway extended all the way to the Rothsay Wharf over a kilometer downriver. But until then, this stretch of water walking is giving people a whole new appreciation for a river they grew up on. Avery McRae, CTV News, Rothsay, New Brunswick.
Wesley Jang, the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for that, we head to Chicago. Blue Jays Cubs extra innings winning run on third as Carson Kelly lines one up the middle, and Ernie Clement leaps out of nowhere and makes the catch, a game-saving stat to end the inning, making the catch at the top of his jump. Kelly thinks he'd won it, so does this fan. The Cubs would end up winning the game an inning later, but not before Clement earned himself the must-see moment. And tonight on TSN, we've got Week 10 action from the CFL. The Red Blacks taking on the Rough Riders. Coverage begins at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Friday, August 7th. Today, the Blitz is back. Winnipeg police commit to 3 more months of enhanced drug enforcement. What changes will be implemented this time versus the sweep done in June? Also today, tornado alerts. Coming updates to the system will help ensure warnings delivered through mobile devices are more localized and more specific. And what's good for the goose is great for pumping up a quirky but stylish summer tradition that's seeing a resurgence this year in Regina. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning and happy Friday, folks. I'm Daniel Halmerson, joined by Tandy Bear on weather. Heading into the weekend, last couple of days of the first week of Folklorama, of course, but more on coming next week. Ainsley McPhail is at the German Pavilion today, and its theme this year is Berlin, so she's learning a little bit about the culture, techno music, and of course food, and it's looking like a beautiful weekend ahead.
Yeah, it's a beautiful weekend with some mild temperatures, but sunshine on the way for us with a little bit of clouds. 11 degrees right now, mostly sunny outside, winds gusting west at 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising, and the humidity is sitting at 94%. Looking at our satellite image, not too much for southern Manitoba. It's going to be mostly dry conditions for us. But I do want to point to our friends up in the north. Environment and Climate Canada had mentioned that they could receive some light precipitation in the late afternoon. I do want to mention that Thompson right now is actually receiving some rainfall. As early as 7:29 a.m. it started raining, but very light rain showers. Looking at our graphics right now, you can see it's very scattered precipitation is what they can expect. So nothing too intense, but overnight they do have that risk of a thunderstorm. And that's due to that low pressure system that's coming from the east and affecting parts of northern Manitoba. So it will intensify intensify towards the later part of the weekend. So for them, it won't be as dry conditions as it would be for southern Manitoba. Central Manitoba might receive some very scattered precipitation, but mostly for us here in the south, it's mostly clear conditions on the way and sunshine with those cloud coverages throughout the weekend. And looking into our 7-day forecast, our high today is going to be 24 degrees. Seasonal average is 26, so 2 degrees shy from that. Tomorrow it's going to be 22, so these very mid to low temperatures ranging in the 20s, but just sunshine on the way with the clouds increasing throughout the weekend. Tomorrow specifically might be as cloudy as it was yesterday, according to Environment Canada. But for today, for us, it's mostly sunshine in the morning. The clouds will come in the afternoon, but it'll be a mix of sun and clouds. Izzy, 8 years old. How gorgeous is this? I love the rainbow. Love that you showed that thunderstorm with the boom, boom, boom and the lightning bolt. Beautiful. To submit your child's weather art of the day, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form. Your art can be shown on Your Morning Winnipeg, and it will also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift card from Crocodile on Keniston and Regent locations.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crocodile Paint Your Own Pottery, now open on Regent and Keniston.
The crackdown on open drug use and trafficking in Winnipeg is about to resume. Winnipeg police are kicking off a second blitz that's longer than this time around. The news follows a targeted 10-day crackdown in June, and police aren't wasting any time mobilizing. This latest enforcement effort starts today in areas where there are ongoing concerns.
Residents can expect to see a visible police presence in specific areas that have been identified based on a combination of crime data, complaints, tips, and emergency calls for service, both to police and fire.
Officers are also collaborating with outreach workers on calls to help connect people to appropriate services and resources. Chief Bowers acknowledged during the previous blitz, community organizations should have been part of the force's efforts. This round of enforcement is expected to last until November, when it will be reassessed, and the program this time will expand into Osborne Village. Winnipeg's cell phones have been buzzing this summer with frequent tornado alerts. But despite those warnings, tornadoes don't always materialize in our area. Now, as CTV's John Hendricks shows you, Environment Canada is updating its warning system.
When tornadoes were spotted in southern Manitoba back in early June, Adriana Moreno got a number of warnings on her phone.
I remember that my phone was beeping all the time.
Which would have been great had she been close to the area where the tornadoes were, but she wasn't.
Maybe they didn't need that warning.
In the future, people like Moreno may get fewer of those false alarm warnings. Environment Canada is modernizing its alert system to provide more precise severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings by utilizing a polygon warning system. In a statement, a spokesperson writes, forecasters outline the area most likely to be affected by a severe thunderstorm or tornado and send a warning only to people in that area. These alert areas are also known as free-form polygons.
The United States have been using the system, this type of an approach for warnings for many years.
John Hanasak is an atmospheric science professor at the University of Manitoba. He says the polygon warning system is much more targeted to the areas where the storm is actually heading.
So people that are within, say, a half an hour or an hour of the storm, depending on how fast it's traveling, they would actually have the warnings go out just for that localized area as opposed to a whole bunch of people getting the warning.
And that will mean fewer false alarms for people like Adriana Moreno.
It's going to be a good thing.
The new system is scheduled to go online Tuesday, August 11th. John Hendricks, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Despite the new system, Environment Canada is warning intrusive alert-ready messages on TV and radio will not be noticeably more precise. That's because of how large their broadcast areas are. However, it says wireless messages will be more precise and fewer mobile users will receive any given alert. Police have made 2 arrests in connection to a shooting at the U.S. consulate in Toronto last month and say they were part of a so-called criminals for hire network.
Criminals are exploiting encrypted technology to recruit young people and coordinate serious criminal acts.
Police say the 2 teens are facing several charges, including failing to comply with court-ordered release conditions. Police allege the teens were lured by a gun-for-hire scheme playing out on encrypted messaging applications. Online recruiting is believed to be connected to a separate shooting at the consulate last March. Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkew says the motive behind both shootings is consistent, and investigators have determined that the same suspects in this latest incident allegedly set a car on fire in Caledon 3 days before the shooting. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says the Prime Minister needs to explain how an accused spy was able to intern at NATO headquarters.
That this individual was not captured in the vetting process originally, but that other countries and governments were able to have the intelligence to find this troubling information.
CTV News identified the accused spy as Claire Biwei Zhang. Court records show Zhang submitted a fraudulent application for a job at the Canada Border Services Agency. Despite that red flag, Zhang was able to intern at SHAPE, which is NATO's military command center in Belgium. All prosecutors in Belgium would say is that a Canadian national of Chinese origin is under arrest on charges of espionage. Both NATO and Ottawa have not said outright if they're planning to review their vetting processes. Regina is the perfect place to go on a wild goose chase.
People walking by will always comment about the geese, what outfit they're wearing. And now that the neighbor has one on her step, it's become quite the conversation of people walking by.
The quirky porch goose trend first began in Regina 23 years ago, but it's having a bit of a resurgence right now. Demand is strong, with a local home decor store recently getting a flock of 80 geese in. People are dressing them up for the season, which makes for some friendly competition and conversation. Osborne Street, not a lot to show you out there, but if you have any traffic tips to pass along, text them to us at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires, proudly keeping Canadians rolling for 50 years.
CTV's Ainsley McPhail is finishing up her first trip around the world at Folklorama this week, and she's at the German Pavilion. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. When you think about Carnival, you might not think about Germany. You might not know that they have an exceptional one. Cassandra, Layla, and Lizzie are joining me, and I'm going to learn a couple very simple moves. Good morning, Cassandra. Tell us about the theme and everything going on here.
So Carnival, it has long history. It really picked up in the 19th century with parties. Some cities in Germany will completely shut down just for Carnival season.
And what can people expect when they see your performance?
Lots of high energy dancing, lots of high kicks. We also will do a backwards salute. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun and entertaining.
Well, she's foreshadowing my lesson. We're not going to do the kicks because of the outfit choice today. We kind of talked about that off camera, but I'm going to learn the salute. What's the significance of that?
It was to mock the hierarchy for different countries invading and such, so that the people of Germany could still celebrate before Lent.
I like that we're doing a very short, concise history lesson. Okay, what's the moves?
So the salute will be just behind your left ear. Yeah, and we'll finish off every dance with this.
Very interesting. What are we going to hear today and see today?
Just some of our basic moves, something that you'll see very common in all of our dances, and then sporadically there'll be different moves sprinkled in.
Okay, hit it, take it away.
An der Südbrücke ist es alt vorbei. Man hört nur Lachen und Geschrei. 11 schwarze Segel, fies ohne Ruhe. Und in der andere kaltes Blut. Leben Herr, J. Storn und Bay.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
Love that. So much energy. 14 degrees right now, mostly sunny outside. Winds gusting west-northwest at 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 87%. So very nice, cool start to the day. Moving out the way to show you our currents across the province. Winnipeg, 14 degrees currently. Portage at 14 degrees as well. Gimli, 15 degrees. We have Brandon at 11 degrees. It's starting to heat up. It's quite sunny over there. 13 degrees in the Dauphin area. 12 degrees in Swan River. Also experiencing experiencing some sunshine. The Pas, 14 degrees, cloudy conditions for them. Lynn Lake at 13 degrees and Flin Flon at 14 degrees. Thompson, 13 degrees. I do want to make a note. It was raining earlier at about 7:29 a.m. Just checked with Environment Canada and it stopped raining. So it's those short bursts of rainfall, very light showers is what they experienced. Churchill at 10 degrees and we have Island Lake at 15 degrees. Looking at our satellite image, not too much to show you. Very dry conditions for here in southern Manitoba and parts of central Manitoba. There is a low pressure system that's forming just east of us and they're experiencing some thunderstorms as well as some severe rain. Our friends up in the north might experience that. They do have that risk of a thunderstorm overnight, but they're also experiencing some light rain showers scattered throughout the day. So lots of scattered precipitation for them, pardon me. And then looking at us, what's on the go today. 14 degrees for us currently here in Winnipeg, 23 degrees in the afternoon time with winds gusting northwest at 30 kilometers per hour. Our high is going to be 24 today, so those very nice mild temperatures is what we can expect. 22 degrees tomorrow is our high, so very cooler than it is today, but mostly sunshine on the way and dry conditions. We're taking a break right now, but don't go anywhere. CTV, your morning Winnipeg is just on the other side.
Canadian vitamin and supplement supplier Jameson is being taken private by a Japanese firm in a $2 billion deal. Kieran Holding says, "We see significant opportunities in North America and we intend to use Jameson's distribution channels, brand and customer relationships as a foundation while looking for ways to take the business to the next level." A notable data center supplier, Applied Optoelectronics, reported second quarter revenue of $192 million, beating analysts' estimates. The company anticipates demand to outpace production capacity through mid-2027. A New Mexico judge has ordered Meta to pay more than $900 million and limit the time young people in the state can spend on its apps, significantly increasing the cost of the landmark child safety verdict against the Facebook and Instagram parent. Meta is facing thousands of lawsuits from state attorneys general, school districts, and individual plaintiffs that allege the company gave priority to growth over the safety of its underage users. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
As we shared earlier this week, a U.S. company has been approved to launch a giant mirror into space. Reflect Orbital vows its satellites will deliver sunlight on demand and could illuminate disaster response areas, boost the agricultural sector, and energize solar farms after dark. But some people in the science community aren't bright on the idea. Joining us now to explain is the director of the U of M's Lockhart Planetarium, Danielle Pahoud. Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning.
First, can you tell us a little bit more about what this company intends to do?
Sure. So Reflect Orbital intends to launch this year 1 satellite, and in the following years up to 50,000. And each of these satellites would have, as you say, a giant mirror that will reflect sunlight back down onto Earth and point it towards the part of the Earth that is experiencing nighttime. And so they are proposing to be able to point the telescopes, like multiple telescopes at the same spot, to provide quite a bit of sunlight for certain amounts of time.
You and others have voiced concerns over this concept. Can you walk us through how the impacts this type of light pollution could have on us?
Absolutely. So the company hasn't said anything yet about the ability to turn off the mirrors or fold them up when they are not providing sunlight to a location that has asked for them, which means that, and these satellites are going to be orbiting the Earth every couple of hours, which means that we could potentially have these roving spotlights around the Earth, which is hugely disruptive to our nighttime ecosystems. So from people's circadian rhythms, and so the darkness of nighttime is correlated with many health aspects for humans. It also has an impact on migratory birds and on bugs, and so there are large swaths of our ecosystems that depend on nighttime being dark and predictable.
It's fascinating. Reflect Orbital, as you mentioned, wants more than 50,000 of these satellites in orbit by 2035. This is on top of millions more proposed by companies like SpaceX. How could this many satellites in orbit impact Earth's atmosphere?
That's a great question. It's getting really crowded up there, and we're already seeing launches for scientific missions or even just for other missions being delayed because they have to avoid satellites crossing. And as you say, it impacts our atmosphere. Most of these proposed satellites are orbiting in what we call low Earth orbit. So they are still experiencing some drag from our atmosphere, which is granted thin up there, but most of these satellites will eventually re-enter our atmosphere and burn up and deposit a lot of metals and aluminum, which we know has really negative effects on the ozone layer.
Let's go from the doom and gloom to the shock and awe. It's going to be an incredible display in the skies in the coming weeks. Before we go, what can people expect?
Oh my goodness. So in the next coming week, so next week we have so I'm an astronomer, so next week we have the Perseid meteor shower, which will be visible everywhere in the world. We have tonight possibly some aurora. We have, this is a daytime, but in Europe next week we have a solar eclipse. And then we also have in the early morning a planetary alignment. So there's all sorts of wonderful things that we can see at night. And so I think it's, well, I and many astronomers really think it's very important to preserve the night.
And I mean, we spoke with Scott Young from the planetarium at the Manitoba Museum the other day as well. And this is astronomy. This is the wonder of our universe, in a sense, maybe at threat here. So if people want to check out some of these sky watching events over the next couple weeks, what's the best thing? Head out of town to a nice dark spot?
Yeah, so we already know that light pollution limits our ability to see the night sky. So you're not able to see as many stars in the city as you are out in the country. So if you want to see any of these things, especially the Perseids, being in a dark spot, being out of the city, somewhere with where you can see a lot of sky, a wide horizon.
Wonderful.
That really helps. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Danielle, and have a great weekend.
14 degrees right now. Beautiful sunshine, still a cool start to the day, but those temperatures are slowly but surely ramping up. It's mostly sunny outside, which I love. Winds gusting west-northwest at 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising, and the humidity is sitting at 87%. So I was wondering why I'm a little bit out of breath. I locked myself out, came and run to the rooftop to give you the weather update. So Portage is currently at 14 degrees, mostly sunny for them. Brandon is at 11 degrees, having great sunshine. Dauphin area at 13 degrees. I do want to note the PA is at 14 degrees currently and 13 degrees in Thompson. It stopped raining for them, thank goodness, but they might have that early chance of precipitation at 1 p.m. according to Environment Climate Change Canada. Now looking at our beautiful sky pic of the day from Jeanette. How glorious, the beautiful sunset. I love all the colors. Thank you so much. Keep those pictures coming at Winnipeg weather at CTV.ca.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
If you're looking to get some new ink or just want to see some world-class artists in action, you're in luck. The Winnipeg Tattoo Convention returns to Red River X Park this weekend with more than 290 artists on site. Joining us now with the details is events coordinator and local tattoo artist, Rich Hanford. Good morning.
Good morning, Danny. Thanks for having me.
Rich, when we say world-class, that's not a stretch here. You have artists coming from all over the world.
Absolutely. You know, I've been in the industry for over 30 years, and I've been fortunate enough to work around the globe and make a lot of connections. And every year we host this event, it brings new masters from around the globe here to Manitoba to tattoo local collectors.
This is a truly interactive experience for guests. They can make appointments ahead of time or get a walk-up flash tattoo. Any idea how many people you expect to see there this weekend?
Oh, we expect to see thousands through the door, but we have hundreds of artists ready to tattoo Manitobans every day. We get a lot of first-timers that are uncertain as to what to do, but it's very straightforward. You walk around the event, you look at artists' work. If you feel connected to something or see something you like, the artist is sitting there ask them to tattoo you. It's as simple as that.
What's your advice to someone getting a tattoo for the first time?
My advice is to eat before your appointment, come well rested. When you come to the event, check out our walk-up boards located at Information. It's filled with lists of masters from around the world. We have artists from as far as Japan, Australia, from Sweden to Sao Paulo, from Maine to San Diego. So it truly is an opportunity to get tattooed by a master tattoo artist from any style and genre of tattooing.
For you, you're spending a weekend with your contemporaries. As an artist, what do you take away from an event like this?
Oh, goodness. It's for me, it's about community and, not to be cheesy, the fellowship. It's about personal connections with artists I have looked up to my entire career, and it's an opportunity for the entire local community to grow and be lifted up through community events.
Now, tattoos it's not the only art form on display this week, and a lot of these artists do paintings, other stuff. What can people expect aside from tattoos at the convention?
Well, to be honest, there's something for everyone. Whether or not you're going to get a tattoo or not, we have a huge outdoor market of makers. We have beer gardens. We have live musical performances going on throughout the weekend. We have a variety of artists that bring paintings, prints, merchandise. We have motorcycles on display. There's truly something for everyone. If you're a people watcher, it's a perfect place to come and enjoy a Saturday afternoon.
It's the kind of event, I guess, if you're staring at someone, it's probably a good, if someone catches you staring at them, it's probably a good thing there.
Oh, it's okay. And if you're walking around and you see someone sitting there, do they look intimidating? They're not. They likely just have social anxiety, just like you. All you have to do is say hello, ask if they have time available, and you'll go home with the tattoo of your dreams.
Awesome. Well, the Winnipeg Tattoo Convention happening at Red River X Park, admission $30. And it's happening through Sunday.
It is. Tickets are available online at winnipegtattooconvention.com or at the door at Red River Exhibition Park.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rich.
Thank you, Danny. Thanks, bud.
Right now, pleasantly lovely outside, mostly sunny, winds gusting west-northwest at 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 87%. Not too much to show you on our satellite image this morning, just that note that in the northern communities they do have that risk of a thunderstorm overnight, as well as a low 30% chance of precipitation in the early part of the afternoon. But what we have on the go for here in Winnipeg, our high is going to be 24 degrees, so pleasantly mild temperatures, winds gusting northwest at 30 kilometers per hour. We're going to have that mix of sun and cloud, mostly sunshine for the greater part of the morning. In the late afternoon, that's when we'll get more of those clouds coming in, and it's going to be a nice mix, not as cloudy as it was yesterday. Looking into the evening time, it'll be 12 degrees, winds gusting west at 20 kilometers per hour. We're going to have a few clouds in the sky. It will clear up by after midnight with clear, beautiful skies, and by the time we wake up tomorrow, our high is going to be 22 degrees, winds gusting northwest at 20 kilometers per hour. It's mostly going to be sunny, again, for the greater part of the morning. Then we're going to have increasing cloud coverage throughout the afternoon. It's going to be kind of like it was yesterday. We did have that heat, but it was also very cloudy and not that much sun peeking through. We might have the same on the go for us tomorrow. But looking into our 5-day forecast, it's just sunshine times and good vibes with those mid-mild temperatures that we'll be feeling. 24 to 25 degrees, our highest at 25 degrees. Maybe a slight chance of precipitation towards the later part of the week on Wednesday next week, but that's a low chance according to Environment Canada. But we can enjoy these very pleasant conditions, very mild winds, very mild temperatures, and beautiful sunshine.
Canada added 75,000 jobs in July as the unemployment rate fell to its lowest level in 2 years to 6.4%. Statistics Canada's Labour Force survey released this morning said the unemployment rate fell for the third straight month, which is down 0.5 percentage point since April. Most of the job gains in July were split between full and part-time work, as wholesale and retail trade alone added 21,000 new jobs, though the sector is down 50,000 jobs from a year ago. Ontario added the most jobs of any province in July, mostly the professional, scientific and technical services sector. A Reuters poll of economists predicted Canada would add 15,000 jobs last month. The province is stepping in to help fund the phase 3 of the city's North End sewage treatment plant.
We're good for $500 million towards the North End water treatment plant. This is a big project for more housing. We got to keep the economy moving here. And not only are we making the investment here, but we've been doing the negotiations with the feds to get them there for their share. And we just want to make sure that the city delivers this thing on budget now.
The phase is projected to cost around $1.57 billion. Included is a new facility to remove nutrients from treated water, making it cleaner when it enters the river. The province previously committed more than $432 million to phases 1 and 2, more than half of which has already been paid. Phase 1 was completed earlier this year, and the second phase is expected to get underway soon. The entire project is expected to cost more than $3 billion. A city report last month said the new facilities are expected to begin treating biosolids in October of 2030 and will be completed by the following March. About 9 out of 10 Canadians use at least one social media platform every week, and some of us are on them for hours a day. For some people, social media is a huge part of their lives. So what happens if you're kicked off a platform with no chance of returning? Well, CTV's Pat Foran explains.
Letitia Van Roombeck of Toronto has had her Instagram account for 16 years. She uses it to post photos and videos and stay in touch with contacts she's made around the world. It's why 2 months ago she was shocked when she was locked out of her account.
My sister texted me, I was at work, and she goes, "Did you delete your Instagram? Disable your Instagram?" And I was like, "What?" So I quickly go on Instagram and I see a page that says your account's been disabled.
Van Roombeck says her account was blocked after she was told she had posted something that violated community guidelines. She felt she hadn't, and when her mother tried to help her back on the platform, she was locked out.
She tried to start another account and the same message came through. So it's almost like it banned her from Instagram totally for no reason.
Van Roombeck was not told what post caused the problems. Meta Pro Team said in an email, Meta already acknowledged an error with your Instagram account. You cannot request another review. Meta has finalized their decision.
It's just so derailing for something that's been my go-to for 16 years since I'm since I'm a teen to an adult now.
No one really knows why their accounts were suspended. And,
Technology analyst Carmi Levy says most content on social media platforms is reviewed by AI bots, so they can misinterpret photos as being offensive when they're completely harmless. He says once you're kicked off a platform, it can be almost impossible to get back on.
There are no humans involved in this process. AI determines that the account is over the line. AI determines whether they get reinstated or not, and there's simply no opportunity to speak to a human who can help them.
Van Roombeck is glad she has some of her precious memories from other sources, but says Meta should be using people to flag inappropriate content and not AI.
I just hope that they get humans on it and bad guys out, good guys keep their stuff.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Traffic out on Donald Street looks like it's moving pretty well out there. If you have any tips to pass along, text them to us at 10400. And your gas prices here in Winnipeg, the average is $1.71. That's a small increase compared to yesterday. And the lowest price in the city, $1.56. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Time now for your answers to our question of the day. Can you function in the morning without coffee? Well, Marlene is not a coffee drinker. She drinks hot chocolate once every morning. Berth shared, I don't drink any coffee in the morning. What am I, a rebel? LOL. Susan needs coffee every morning. Lawrence can survive without coffee since discovering Monster energy drinks. Louis says, I definitely need coffee to start my morning. Tracy could function without coffee, but probably not successfully. Trevor shared, yes, I can function in the morning without coffee. Barely, though. Viewer texted, no, I need my morning coffee. Sandy, her short answer is no. Unkti says, I don't drink coffee, but a Rockstar energy drink gets my day going. Lori says it's no for her husband, Dale, and she never has had a cup of coffee, but does enjoy her tea. Lamont's answer, no, I can't. I'm just a little off until I have my coffee. Has to be before 10 a.m. or here comes the headache. Stacy says, I don't need coffee in the morning as I don't drink coffee or tea, and Sheila needs her 1 cup. Well, thank you all for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
CTV's Ainsley McPhail has been spending the morning at Folklorama's German Pavilion, and we've seen a little bit of everything, but we haven't heard a brass band yet.
Yes. Well, we're going to talk about the band, and we're also going to talk about some of the beverages and how we can cheers each other. So we talked about coffee, from one beverage to the next. Might be a good way to spend your late night party at Folklorama here at the German Pavilion. Keith joining me. Let's talk about the participation at this pavilion.
We are the participation pavilion. We get the crowd up, we get the crowd moving, and a lot of people, that is probably one of the biggest comments that we get, is that you're not stationary, sedentary, you're moving, you're getting into it, and we get you involved. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, and that's purposefully done, and wow, if you want an experience, you got to come here. Absolutely.
Well, right now you're going to show us how to properly cheers.
Okay.
I know it's an empty cup, but that's okay.
So if you are in Germany, a toast is called an Ein Prosit, and then at the end of a toast, you go Prost, okay? And yeah, there's a song, really Bavarian, that you sing, but you'll hear parts of it in different parts of Germany as well. But let's do an Ein Prosit together. Okay. Ein Prosit, der Gemütlichkeit. Ein Prosit, der Gemütlichkeit. And then we do a cheer, like eins.
Eins.
Zwei.
Zwei.
Drei.
Drei.
Super.
Super.
Which means drink up. And then you go a chant.
Zicka-zacka, hoi, hoi, hoi.
Zicka-zacki, zicka-zacki.
Hoi, hoi, hoi.
One more. Zicka-zacki, zicka-zacki.
Hoi, hoi, hoi.
And then we all, again, this is all with your glasses raised, or your Steins, or your Maßkreuz. And then finally you clink your glasses. You look. The German tradition is to look each other in the eye. Otherwise, it's bad luck.
7 years of bad luck.
Yeah, be careful. So then you look each other in the eye, and then you take a schluck.
Okay, Prost. Sorry, I should have grabbed one of them. I should grab the boot. Okay, back to you.
Looks like so much fun over there. Tandy, you're up on the rooftop, and it's looking like a pretty nice day out there so far.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be quite a pleasant day. Great day to come out, go out, I mean, or take a walk. 14 degrees currently, mostly sunny outside. Winds gusting west-northwest at 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising, and the humidity is sitting at 87%. So across the province, we have this mixture of sun and clouds, specifically in Portage, Brandon, and Dauphin. It's mostly sunshine for them. Same here in Winnipeg. I do want to note in the Pa, Thompson, Churchill, they are experiencing very cloudy conditions. In fact, Churchill, they're still experiencing fog, which started as early as 6 a.m. According to Environment and Climate Change Canada, they do have that risk of precipitation later on. Thompson received some early morning showers for about 20 minutes at about 7:30 a.m. today. They do have that risk later on in the evening time, with as well a risk of a thunderstorm. But for southern Manitoba, it's mostly going to be dry conditions in different parts of central Manitoba. There might be some scattered precipitation for certain parts in central Manitoba. But for here, dry, beautiful conditions with just sunshine on the way and these very mild temperatures. Our high today is going to be 24 degrees for for Winnipeg, and 23 degrees for Brandon. We're taking a break right now, but don't go anywhere. CTV, your morning, Winnipeg, just on the other side.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Who needs a Birkin when a $1.99 Canadian Tire bag is the hottest accessory this summer? Hudson Williams, the star of Heated Rivalry, was spotted carrying the red and black plaid shopping bag while walking in Toronto alongside his co-star Connor Story. The wallet-friendly look went viral and has sent fans into a shopping frenzy. It's become the it bag for cottage season, selling out in some store locations. The Senior Vice President of Marketing and Brand at the company says there's been a surge in demand for the reusable tote since Saturday. She says Canadian Tire has sold 30 times the number of bags it typically sells. If you were unable to snag one for yourself, hold tight. She says stores that sold out of the product will be restocked shortly. At an age when many people are told to take it easy, one 97-year-old is proving the sky really isn't the limit.
Go, Betty!
Betty Bromwich from the UK broke her own Guinness World Record as the oldest female wing walker. Betty first tried the stunt at 87 and has now completed 6 wing walks.
When you get old, you can't go here, you can't do this, you can't drive, you can't see. I can't see very well. And I get a bit frustrated. So I want to do the things that I can do.
Her latest flight helped raise money for the hospital that cared for her after she suffered a stroke last year. Now, father and son are cycling their way across Canada, and they've arrived in Ottawa.
Overall, it's been pretty tough, to be honest. And it's like Terry Fox inspired me a bunch to do this. Every day when I'm in a tough spot, I think about how much he did with cancer in one leg. It's much more impressive than what we're doing.
18-year-old Ben Shopland and his dad Ian left BC more than 70 days ago, and they're heading for Newfoundland. They're doing it in honor of Terry Fox and have raised $33,000 so far. The trip is going to be about 13,000 kilometers, mostly on trails and gravel roads. They're aiming to raise $50,000. Well, summer festival season is in full swing, and people in Winkler are getting in on the fun this weekend. The Winkler Harvest Festival kicks off this afternoon with a jam-packed schedule, and joining us with more is festival planner Karina Beckert. Good morning, Karina.
Good morning.
Now, how long has the Winkler Harvest Festival been going on for, and how many people show up year after year?
So last year we celebrated our 40th anniversary, and so it's hard to track how many people attend our festival just because we have so many entry points, and it is a free community event. So we estimated the last time at about 60,000 people throughout the weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are some of the activities and events happening this weekend?
We have Jackson Dean coming for a free concert on Friday night. That's tonight. He's arriving. They just crossed the border, actually. And Tiffany, 80s Mama here, is performing for us on Saturday night. And then we have Tim and the Glory Boys on Sunday night. We also have the Heritage Farms Beer Gardens going on with other entertainment going on and lots of great drinks and so on. And then we have free kids activities and wonder shows and all sorts of great stuff.
I got to ask, what's something personally you're really excited about?
You know, I love how the community, if they ask us to participate and if they simply let us know how we can become more inclusive, how we can adapt our schedules and so on. So we have the quiet morning happening tomorrow morning. So while the community is out enjoying the parade that happens in the streets of Winkler, we also have the festival grounds open and with no sound, no music, anything, and no lights. So anybody with sensory disabilities or sensory sensitivities, it gives them an opportunity to also enjoy the festival.
That's really cool. Now, a lot of this festival programming is free of charge. Why is it important for you guys to keep those costs down?
You know, life is just hard, and the cost of everything has gotten so crazy. And so I understand how so many families are struggling with being able to afford these things. And so this is a great opportunity for families to come out. Bring a picnic if you want. If you don't have the money for food trucks or anything like that, just bring a picnic, enjoy the shows, enjoy the kids zone. There's so many bouncy castles and trains and so on for your kids to enjoy. Just come out, enjoy, and be a part of the community.
We're likely around the same age. Getting a name like Tiffany to come to Winkler, it's pretty cool.
It sure is. So typically we have a country night, a rock night, and a Christian music night. And so when we couldn't find anybody, the rock industry is getting harder and harder to secure. And so my idea was to bring in Tiffany. I'm the 80s mama, so I'm pretty pumped about this one. I'm getting a lot of calls and a lot of messages about this one. So Jackson Dean's a big deal, but it's time for us 80s people.
If people are heading from Winnipeg or other areas, what should they know before they come on down to Winkler this weekend?
Parking is tough, but it is free. So find a good spot that you can park in and just be kind. Be patient. We have free fireworks going on Sunday night. So that firework traffic when everybody wants to leave is always crazy. So, but everybody just be patient. Welcome to our community. We are very happy to have everybody.
And let's talk about that community just a little bit. You know, it's a big celebration every year. For people that live in Winkler, is this kind of a second Christmas Day?
It sure is. It sure is. We have a lot of people that come back home. It's like a homecoming for them. So I often get to see so many of my friends that I grew up with, and it's awesome to see everybody coming home. It's great.
Oh, perfect. Well, Winkler Harvest Fest, it's happening this afternoon through Sunday at the fairgrounds out there. I wish you guys luck, and I hope you enjoy Tiffany as much as I would. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And today is truly a great day to go out. 14 degrees right now, mostly sunny, winds gusting west-northwest at 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 87%. Looking at our satellite image, not too much to show you. There was a low pressure system that was building up just east of us. It has settled a bit. They were experiencing some severe thunderstorms earlier this morning, as well as some intense rain. In Thompson, they were experiencing some light rain shower as well for Manitoba. So the north, they do have that chance of precipitation. According to Environment Canada, it's about 60%, and they could also have some overnight thunderstorms. But for us here in southern Manitoba, it's mostly dry conditions, as well as parts of central Manitoba. Looking at our 7-day forecast today, our high is going to be 24 degrees, so nice day to go out. It won't be too windy, winds gusting up to 30 kilometers per hour. So great time to go out. It's going to mostly be sunny throughout the morning. Greater part of the afternoon, that cloud coverage will increase, but it'll be a mix of sun and cloud, not as intense cloud coverage as it was yesterday. And looking into the rest of the week, 22 degrees tomorrow, so nice mild temperatures, still sunny days ahead. Mostly sunshine on the go for us, with those mild temperatures ranging between 22 to 25 degrees. Right now, we're taking a break, but don't go anywhere. We got some funny videos to show you.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
All right, we kick things off with something for the early birds with babies.
Running 465 miles in a matter of days to make all of this happen.
Dominique Dillon is a morning show host in Memphis, Tennessee, and she fell asleep while the reporter was talking. Now, the weather presenter quickly jumped in for the save. Now, important context here, Dillon is a new mom and she just returned back to work. I haven't had that happen to me. I've had some nightmares about stuff like that happening, so yeah. We've made it this week. But now on to an interspecies family that proves love is love. There's nothing foul going on here. These ducks imprinted on this dog when they were just babies, so they now think she's their mama. They follow her around everywhere she goes, and it looks like the pup is quite proud of her quacky pack and takes the role seriously.
That's so cute.
That is so cute.
That's adorable.
And finally, let's finish off with a new luxury for some furry friends. Why stand when you can sit? Peak Wildlife Park in central England decided to give their meerkats some chairs to enjoy the summer sun, and it looks like they love it. And I'm going to be doing just that in a few hours on the beach. I'm going to have a nap out there. It's the weekend. Oh my, sorry. Kim's telling me to keep on looking there. I hope everyone has a great weekend. We'll see you next week.